Welcome to the stage where hearts unfold in the morning glow, stories untold. Let's paint with words, a masterpiece of art where dialogues bloom, igniting every heart. Let's tap into the ocean of thoughts where waves of healing gently sold. Let's paint with words, a masterpiece of art where dialogues bloom, igniting every heart. Let's dive into the ocean of thoughts where waves of healing gently sought. Together we'll mend, stitch by stitch in the morning glow. Let's make the switch. A symphony of voices, harmonizing the air, echoing truth, banishing despair. Let's sow seeds of unity, watch them grow in this garden of hope under the morning glow. Let's bridge the gaps, erase the line in the tapestry of hearts that love shine. With every word, a step we take towards a brighter dawn for all our sake. Welcome to the morning glow, where dreams take flight in this realm of possibilities. Let's unite, together we stand, hand in hand, healing the nation across the land. Let's dive into the ocean of thoughts where waves of healing gently sought. Together we'll mend, stitch by stitch in the morning glow. Let's make the switch. Let's dive into the ocean of thoughts where waves of healing gently sought. Together we'll mend, stitch by stitch in the morning glow. Let's make the switch. Let's symphony of voices, harmonizing the air, echoing truth, banishing despair.
Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning, as I hope and I pray that we always do. I'm not important, just a question asker. My name is Raheen Aljami out of Atlanta, Georgia, but I got my brothers from another mother, but we got the same father. First, on the line is Badger. Good morning, Badger. How you doing this morning?
Enjoying another blessed day that we have been given.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's good. That is good. Tucson. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Man, I'm see.
Say it. Say it, Tucson. Say it, Tucson. Say it, Tucson. Let me hear you.
Hyena happy. Come on, help me out.
Hyena happy, elephant elated,
Elephant elated
and
and
porcupine proud.
porcupine.
There you go.
Come on again.
Now tell them why you're not peacock
Cut
proud,
my
Tucson.
leg off and well, the story is that you can pluck a peacock's feathers. But and you might not have no problem.
Yeah.
But try to pluck a porcupine.
I wish I wish you quill. I wish you quill.
You won't do that no more.
Exactly. I sure wish you will. I wish
There's
you.
a way to do it actually.
Yeah. Was.
You can get like a towel or something like that, and you just slap the back of them and be able to take off the quills.
I want to see you do it. I'm gonna give us right here. We're gonna give us a porcupine and watch Badger.
A grown one, not a young one, but a grown one, a wise porcupine. We're gonna get a wise porcupine and see how
He
it.
can't be. He can't be tight. He can't be pet. Not no pet.
No.
We're gonna get one out the wild.
Yeah. One that has learned how to survive.
Look. Hey, look. I'm gonna get me some popcorn. Watch Badger pluck him.
And a big glass of grape Kool-Aid. Grape Kool-Aid. That calls for grape Kool-Aid right there. That's not, you can't get the red when you got to get the grape Kool-Aid because it's gonna be a lot of red showing. It's gonna be, you already gonna have your red color when they get the it's gonna be a lot.
And then they would say like, I didn't know Badger could sing soprano.
Dr. Cook, good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Good morning to everyone. I'm doing well.
Good deal. Good deal. Tucson, I'm gonna start off with you, and I'm gonna ask you this question, man. And I'm glad Dr. Cook here because I want to hear from a female's perspective as well, how she, what she think about it. But Tucson, what is if a lot of fellas are standing around at a function or whatever, they standing around and they talking, and then one of the wives come up and kind of hang around, stand around a little bit, and her husband said, "Hold on, baby, you need to go back in there with the ladies. We having man talk right now. We're having man talk right now. We're having man talk." Tucson, what is man talk?
Mhm. Well, Lord, that was
What is
it can
man
be
talk?
anything.
Yeah. Or a child come in the room and hey, boy or girl, get out this room.
Uh-uh.
We having a man talk now.
No, you don't.
You don't need to be in here. We're having
No.
man talk.
No. I tell you what, though, right here, I know what man talk is,
What is it?
but I would rather be in the company of men and a woman show up if I would, I prefer a woman to come into man talk.
Mm-hmm. So you
But,
don't.
I'm just saying, I'm gonna answer your question.
Mm-hmm.
But if a bunch of women are talking, don't go in there.
No. Oh no. You're
don't,
gonna
don't do it.
you're gonna be the
Don't do
center.
it.
You're gonna be the
But no,
center
we
of the
can talk
conversation.
about sports.
You're gonna be the center of the conversation immediately. You're gonna be the
You
center
trying
of
to
it.
say?
Yes, Lord. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Look, okay, hear him now. Look.
Just a clicking through on.
Look at her man. Look at her man sitting there.
Ain't saying a word.
Everybody laughing but him. And if he laughing, he don't know they laughing at him.
Exactly.
But anyway, men talk about sports. They talk about
women.
Their childhood hero men. Oh yeah, talking about women. Honey, I didn't say that. Raheem said that. See how quick that went out?
He said, boy, he threw me all the way up on the bus on that one, boy. That was all Raheem now. Raheem said that. I ain't said it.
All right, don't like me. We talk about our hero moments when we were younger.
Mm-hmm.
How we was good in sports and we was tough guys. And all of our brave moments.
Mm-hmm.
We never talk about when we were bullied.
Tucson said
until we stop the bullying.
Hey, Tucson, it seemed to me like the man talk. There's a lot of lies involved in it.
I didn't say that, but they stressed the truth. We was the best. We was the best at everything.
Exactly.
Ask them.
Man, I went up there and man, look, I fought
if a woman did come in, she say, honey, they was talking about. I didn't know they were talking about you. She wouldn't recognize you.
Yeah.
Stuff that you be bragging on. She wouldn't even recognize you. I was like, boy, I was the fastest in the whole school, in the whole state. Couldn't do this. Boy, I used to knock them down.
Yes, Lord.
He said, I know you ain't talking about my husband. He can't even walk across the street without falling out.
She look and say, Charlie, when did that happen? When did that happen, Charlie?
And then look, the best thing you do is don't tell your wife till you leave the room. Just go out there with her.
Yeah.
And y'all both go home.
Look,
Oh, Lord.
let me go
Well,
to
you
Tucson.
just
You having fun with
make
this one, man.
questions. You just a silly.
Let me go to Badger. Badger, what is man talk? Badger, Badger, what is man talk? If you know your lady come in the room and there's a lot of fellas, and you say, listen, baby, I don't think you need to be in here right now. You know, I'm not trying to disrespect you or anything, but we having man talk in here right now. Now, I don't think you should hear this. Or one of the children come in the room and it's a lot of men talking, and y'all talking about man stuff. You tell the kid, go out this room. Go out this room. We having man talk. We having grown folk conversation here now. You don't need to be in here.
I wouldn't talk to my wife like that.
Okay, okay. All right, all right, all right. No. But what is man talk?
I was thinking about it when you asked Tucson.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I ain't quite sure.
Mm.
I don't get along with a lot of males,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't have a lot of conversations with them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, so the the closest I've ever came to something anywhere close to that
Mm-hmm.
maybe
Mm-hmm.
is teaching like the teenagers, like 16, 17-year-old boys or whatnot, about how to treat women uh, and how to do their best to be a good man.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of that, I don't know.
Mm. Wow.
Don't make no. And normally, like in gatherings and stuff, I normally end up sitting with the grandmothers and things like that.
What you say?
I don't really get along with a lot of males, man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
You over there
Too much
sitting
ego and pride and junk. I don't care for.
you over there sitting with the grandma. Are you crocheting too?
Probably.
Oh
Crochet. I
Lord.
was just gonna say he crocheted.
Man, the stuff I can learn from them, shoot. I ain't got to worry about learning about a bunch of crazy stuff. I can actually go learn something that's valuable.
Mm. Yeah, the lessons you
That's
learn while crocheting,
like
brother.
putting your teeth in a cup.
Lord.
Hey, I'll be doing that soon too.
Tucson.
I'm
You said-
I'm not.
I'm muting. I'm a
I'm
mute out.
strange.
I'm sorry. I'm a mute out.
no, don't mute. You don't keep no, don't mute. No, don't mute.
And I said I was going to be nice.
Yeah, I
I
know
might
it.
change soon.
Exactly. Badger say he gonna take his gloves off now. Badger say he gonna all right, now he gonna take his gloves off. Yeah, all right. You
Better
ain't gonna
think about
poke.
what the badger represents now.
Oh,
Leave that alone.
let-
Talk to Dr. Cook.
that doggone Tucson. Dr. Cook. Dr. Cook, you there?
Yes.
Good morning again, young lady. And I need to ask you the question. You heard what was said thus far, and I want to hear from a young lady's perspective. That's why I'm glad that you're here. Dr. Cook, what is man talk? What do you deem to be man talk? If you walk in a room with and a lot of men in there and say, Dr. Cook, you might not want to be in here. You might not want to be in here. We having man talk in here now. You might want to go on back in there. Or if a child come in the room and they say, get out of this room. These grown folk talking, having man talk. What you doing coming in here? Having man talk. Got no business being in here. Dr. Cook, what is man talk?
I suspect man talk is about women,
Mm-hmm.
some other, fishing, things that men like to talk about that they don't want women to hear, that they believe women may take personally um,
Or might
just things that they just don't want
might be about them,
to hear,
or might be
so
about
that
women.
significant others to hear.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, Dr.
Really and truly, just men talking. And my thing is, why would women want to be around men while they're talking? I do believe that the talk may be secret talk that they don't want women to hear.
Mm-hmm.
That's showing the other side of them when they're not with their wives or significant others.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think it's a time for men to, it's an outlet session for men. So, you know, you may say some things that you don't want the other person to hear. This is your time to reflect with the other men. So I don't see anything wrong with it, but there shouldn't be any secret between, you know, men and women or between husband and wife.
Mm-hmm.
But men do have their time to have their talks. And so when you do that, and you don't, most of the time you don't want women around because women may say something that you don't want them or need them to say when it's the conversation you're having with the boys or with the men.
So, Dr. Cook, you think that and I want to tell you something. A lot of times the fellas get together, you know, and I'm just, you know, just talking here, you know, this don't happen. It certainly don't happen with all men, but sometimes they might be talking about old Billie Jean. Old Billie Jean, boy, old Billie Jean, fine, ain't she? Look at Billie Jean over there. Lord have mercy. Look at Billie Jean. Big butt, baby hair and a smile. Get me every time. Big butt, baby hair and a smile. Get me every time. Billie Jean got them all. And she laugh at my jokes. She laugh at my jokes.
Right.
Could that be the case? Tucson all over that one, boy.
Yeah, and you know, women have those conversations as well.
No. No.
I've been in a conversation with other women, and men didn't need to be there because we're going to talk about other men, and we're going to talk about how they dress, how they look. We're going to say several different things. So the husband or the boyfriend may not like what we say. So if you don't like what we say, you shouldn't be in the room. And I feel the same way for women when men are talking. If you don't like what they're going to say, then you probably need to leave the room. And it's out of respect. Let the men have their time and let the ladies have their time.
Dr. Cook, let me ask you one more question before you yield. Let me ask you one more question before you yield, Dr. Cook. How important or how impressive is it when a man he dresses real nice and keep himself groomed very well, but the icing on top of the cake is he have a real nice cologne and he smells real good. How impressive is that to a woman?
Okay, say that question again.
How impressive is it to a woman when a man he dresses well, he's very well groomed, and but he also have a real nice smelling cologne on, and he smells good. How good is it smell? That smell good. What does that do to a woman?
It normally turns them on. I'm saying it will open up the. I'm saying normally it turns a woman on. I'm saying but you got to have respect. You got to be disciplined. But I'm saying it gets their mind to thinking. You know, different thoughts go on, but you have to discipline yourself. You have to have barriers. Okay. I'm saying women like to smell like the smell of a man, the cologne. We like to smell those things, but you just have to discipline yourself.
So that cologne could be that.
It shows that the man cares about himself.
So that cologne could be that freaky dicky switch. That freaky dicky switch.
For some women, but not all. But all women like the smell of a man, a good smell of a man.
Okay, all right. I'm ready to go to Captain Leonard, but I got to go to Tucson. He acting up over there. Tucson, what's on your heart, brother?
Just go try to get rid of all my wife's friends. Get rid of all of them. Just be mean to them so they don't come visit no more. Talking about smelling other men. I'm sorry.
Tell me he smell good. And that cologne stink. You know.
Hey, look. And look.
Get the hating on
look, she look be like, he don't dress with a dime. If it ain't Sunday. I'm sorry, I'm being silly. I'm sorry, y'all.
Captain Leonard, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Raheem, and the Morning Glow family.
I guess you could tell it's Wednesday, brother. I guess you could tell it's Wednesday, way out Wednesday. And for the listeners, for people that may be joining us for the first time, Wednesday is a day we let our hair down, man. We Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, we have topics. We stick to those topics as best we can. But on Wednesday, we just free flow. We talk about what we want to talk about, how we want to talk about it. And if you have a question and you want somebody to discuss something that's going on in your life, your community, or whatever, you can call in 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521, and we'll talk about it. But Captain, I'm asking the question: what is it? What is man talk? If men in a room, they're having a discussion, and a woman walk in the room, and her husband look at her and say, "Look, baby, you might not want to be in here. You know, we having man talk right now. You might want to go back over there in the other side of the room, or over there with them women at. We having man talk. Or if a child come over there where the men are talking, and say, get your behind with me here. We ain't got a business. We having this grown folk talk. We having man talk over here. Get your behind back over there with them children. Not children, but children. You know, they serious when they say children. Then what is man talk?
I'm not sure I know a bunch about men talking.
Mm-hmm.
But
man talk. The man talk over here.
Well, sometimes you don't. Women have a tendency to try to run the conversation.
They talk too much
and dictate what people talk about.
They talk too much.
I don't know about talking too much, but they do say some of the wrong things. And one personally, if you got a whole bunch of feelings and think people ought to say what you want to say, you need to leave my conversation. So you can, it's just, if you feel uncomfortable, you leave. I'm not going to stop talking. You leave.
So women are too sensitive, and they overbearing.
Yeah, all of that. All of that. Anytime anybody's around you and you're talking to somebody, well, I don't think we should do this. I don't know. You get your behind out of here. You're not gonna sit here and dictate what I talk about. That's how you get slapped.
Oh, don't you slap that woman? You're going to jail. You're going to jail. Oh, you going to jail.
Going to jail.
Oh, you going to jail. Oh, yeah.
I'm so proud of you.
But you're going to jail.
But I'm so proud of you. But you're
going to jail. Oh, yeah, you're going to jail.
Well, I'm saying that's how a fight gets started.
No, ain't gonna be no fight long. People gonna lock you behind up. You hit that.
But but if you in a room full of men and you disagree with another man too much, guess what we wind up doing? Fighting.
Yeah.
That's why that woman don't need to be there.
Now I gotta protect myself.
You gonna feel some kind of way before me. I guarantee you that. That's why I don't talk around everybody. Because ain't nothing gonna tick me off more.
Exactly.
Than somebody trying to dictate what somebody else say. And you weren't even invited in here.
And there you go. If
you gonna get somewhere and get in the corner, not playing with you. I'm grown.
But I'll tell you something, man. Don't you hit that woman.
Well, I'm just saying that's how people get slapped. I've seen it happen.
Badger, you gonna slap her? Badger, you gonna slap her?
I mean,
and it wasn't a woman that got slapped.
Oh, that's a fight there, boy. Don't you slap? I'd rather you punch me. You punch me. Don't you slap me? If you punch me, we might talk about it a little bit. But you slap me.
Like I say, you know how some people are. You can't go around some people doing too much.
Yeah,
you're doing too much.
Now, Badger,
that's crazy, man.
Boy, this conversation here way out Wednesday for real. Badger, Leonard say women talk too much and they're too invasive. Do you agree with that?
Raheem, I did not say that.
What'd you say? You said they talk too much, ain't it?
I say they say the wrong thing.
Well, that's talking too much. Okay, they say the wrong thing. Okay, they say the wrong thing. And what else you say?
I don't care if you say one thing. If it's the wrong thing, it's too much.
Too much. Okay, there you go. We was in sequence with that one. We was in sequence. So let me ask you this question. You say they talk too much and they try to take over the conversation. They're invasive, right?
They can talk as much as they want, Raheem.
But are they invasive? You say they try to take over the conversation, right?
Yeah, they do.
Badger, you agree with that?
I'm not familiar with that type of situation.
Do
As
you
I
know?
said earlier, I don't really do
You
man
know,
talk.
with the grandmother.
I'm normally hanging out with the grandmas and stuff, man. I don't deal with m- the majority of males. I just
Mhm,
don't.
mhm.
The ones that I do deal with, I feel are very upstanding human beings.
Do you think a lot of time men could be invasive or overpowering when it comes to conversation?
Um, Explain what you mean by that. I want to make sure I understand it based on how y'all use those words.
Do you think a man in a conversation will try to take over the conversation and not let another person voice their opinion as to how they feel?
Yeah,
Lord Jesus, too sorry, Lord.
yeah, I do.
Mm. But so
Um,
if that be the case, Badger, because Leonard says women and you say it's men, when is anybody gonna have a chance to talk? Because everybody being so evasive and trying to be so controlling of the conversation. What's gonna happen to the conversation? The
I
communication.
mean, men and women are both capable of doing things like that. It's not
Mm-hmm.
just one.
Mm-hmm.
It's just one of those things. I I have grown so tired of dealing with males,
Mm-hmm.
um, because of and you have to understand, just to be clear, I have grown up. I am white skinned,
Mm-hmm.
even though I'm half native. In my native community, when I'm around other Native Americans, indigenous people,
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have issues with the majority of males.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been around a bunch of white males. The amount of pride and ego and the thought of women are um there's an ownership mentality.
Mm-hmm.
I don't tolerate that. So I just realized that I'm speaking from a different experience than what I feel you guys are speaking from.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, is Leonard the one that said that women say the wrong things and stuff like that and try to take over the conversation? That was Leonard now,
You messy.
huh?
You messy. You
He
messy.
been messy. He
What,
been
what,
messy.
what,
Come on.
I'm the
The
question
dude
asker,
been
man.
messy.
If I don't ask the question, the conversation gonna cease. I gotta keep the conversation going.
crummy. So
He said, "Crumb it."
from from my experiences dealing with predominantly white skinned males
Mm-hmm.
that have this ownership mentality,
Mm-hmm.
I don't deal with a lot of males because I'd rather just swing.
Swing, swing.
So
You say swing.
He's like,
I
he's like, him and Leonard over there fighting.
see you guys don't know how violent I actually am, even though I always have a mask of being nice.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a lot of effort for me to be nice all the
You know
time.
what I'm talking about.
Okay. Okay.
There's
Okay.
just certain things I don't tolerate, and I don't put myself in situations where I'm going to end up getting thrown in prison.
Mm-hmm.
So, so when I'm speaking on a topic like this, I'm starting to have to remind myself consistently that I've grew up in an entirely different culture where it doesn't sound nothing like what some of you guys talk about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
being around that kind of mindset for so long, I don't know if any of you guys would even want to be around that kind
Mm.
of talk.
But see, my question is this: do you find more peace? Do you find more peace hanging around women, grandmothers, if you will, than you do with men?
Yeah.
Okay. 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 Rico, good morning, sir.
Yo,
Good morning. How you doing this morning?
I can't complain, man. You know I'm happy to see another beautiful day of life. How you doing?
Hey,
Cold
doing
out here.
yes, sir. Yeah, I saw your post. Yeah, I saw your post this morning. But Rico, what is man talk? If men sit around 4, 5, 6, 7 men standing around talking, and a woman come over, one of their wives come over, and the husband say, "Look, hey, look here, baby, hey, look here now. You might not want to be in here. We having man talk right now. You might want to go on back on over there, where them women at, or in other room because we having man talk here. Or if a child come in the room and they say, "Get your behind out of here. What you doing in here? We having man talk." Got no business with your little nose all over in this conversation. Get on out of here. Rico, what is man talk?
I think that depends on the type of men you're around.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have all the same type of conversations with the same men. I got certain all my life I've had different circles that I could dip and dodge out of.
Mm-hmm.
Different type of people that I hanged around. I think I was telling you the other day about the guy that's gonna get executed.
Yeah.
You know, that used to be somebody that I'd be in a circle with every now and then. When we were around there doing man talk, it would be about stuff that wasn't worth 2 cents.
Mm-hmm.
Illegal things, you know what I'm saying? What they call gangster mess, street mess.
Mm-hmm.
But then at the same time, when I was around people who were doing music, you know, we might be talking about some of our experiences with women in the music, in that industry, or in that genre, that, you know, moving around doing music, as far as meeting other women or whatever. Because that, man, there's some things go on when you get into that music, especially when you're doing gospel music.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them jokers, boy, they got women everywhere.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know, we get around and sometimes we talk about, you know, men. Oh man, how can I say this without sounding chauvinistic? Sometimes men like to brag on themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and we might compare notes. You have some men that might have experiences with the same woman. They might compare notes about that woman. They don't want other women to hear what they're talking about. So I mean, it depends on the circle that you're in. If you're talking about business, sometimes I might be in a situation where I'm talking to people that's got political PACs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're into a entirely different lifestyle.
Yeah.
They're all about business. They're talking about doing businesses in Thailand. Going to Thailand, doing business, getting contracts with the government and stuff. So I mean, you know, it depends on the circle of men that I'm in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's good. Because man talk. But before I do that, somebody just hung up. I don't know who that was. Just hung up, but we'll get them. Hopefully, we'll get them back on here. Now, when you're talking about man talk, and Toussaint said, woman talk is just sometimes just as bad. Dr. Cook said the same thing, that it's just as bad. And a lot of times you don't want to be the only man in the room when women are having woman talk. How do you feel about that, Rico?
I think that's true. Because sometimes they talk, man, they talk about things men don't realize they talk about. They compare notes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, if they've been with the same man and that man broke all of them back, believe me, they talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
If that man was a waste of time, they gonna take, girl, don't waste your time.
Mm-hmm.
They gonna talk about you
bad.
I mean, if you got money,
yep.
If they've been faking it, they gonna compare notes. They gonna get trade secrets. Man, this how I get them. They probably even teach each other the recipe to spaghetti. You don't want to know nothing about that.
Don't want that. Don't. I don't want no spaghetti, lasagna.
You know,
I ain't hungry. I lost my appetite. I don't want no spaghetti, no lasagna.
Y'all heard what Clay Thompson said? Clay Thompson said he was hooked on Megan Thee Stallion because he like her catfish and her spaghetti. Oh, this spaghetti. I said, that boy didn't raise him. His dad didn't raise him in the hood.
Exactly. Oh, Lord Jesus.
He got one of them women Badger used to being around. That's his mama. His mama too. Hey, that ain't no knock on you, Badger. I'm just saying that the guy was mixed, and his mom didn't grow up from the hood.
Wow.
So he didn't know nothing about that spaghetti.
Stay away from that. Bro. But come on, man. Let's go, man. We'll go down to McDonald's, get us something to eat, bro. We'll go down to McDonald's, get us something. Don't you eat that?
Yeah, I was gonna say you might want to go to the hospital after if you mess with my mom.
Good Lord. Mm. I'm not gonna touch that one with a 10-foot pole, y'all. We gonna keep it going. We're gonna keep it going. Let me see who just came in here. Somebody just came in. Who just came in? Let me see who that is. Christopher. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
I am excellent, Raheem. How are you?
Hey, doing well, doing well. Way out Wednesday, brother. So we're going way on out. I want to ask you this question, man. What?
Oh my God.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Come on, let's talk about it. What is man talk? If a man is sitting around and they're having a conversation, a woman come in the room and the husband say, look here, you might want to come back over there. You know, we having man talk over here. You might not want to hear this. We're having man talk. Or if a child come in the room and they say, get out of here. Grown folk talk, this man talk. You ain't got no business listening to this. Get your ears out of here. What is man talk?
You know, a couple of days ago, I was thinking about the tradition of shutting down our children from participating in conversations that we think that are just for adults and not for kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it stifles the communication of our kids.
Mm-hmm.
Because we've not taken responsibility of what we talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So in moments where we talk about things that are, you know,
Mm-hmm.
Not edifying, not building up, things that are destructive, and we feel like kids are not supposed to participate in this conversation. But the reality is that words are laced with life and death.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and if we build a communication on life, then we don't even have the desire to bar our kids from participating in those conversations. So let me give you an example. I had a friend, I was a bishop, much younger in ministry, and every time that we had meetings, he would bring his son,
Mm-hmm.
that was probably at that time, his son was probably about 10 years old. He would have his son sit at the table while all the pastors are having this conversation. And I noticed it,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And as I look at that boy's progression today, and he's pastoring his father's church, and I'm like, wow, all those times that boy sat down at that table, he was learning.
Mm-hmm.
He was learning. He was teaching him things about life, teaching him things about his future. You know, and so that thing really bothers me. You know, and it's like, oh, you got to get away from grown folk stuff. We got to teach our kids what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes because what we're talking about don't make no sense and it has no life, and they feel like, oh, kids don't need to listen to this. You know. So that's my own 2 cents about it, you know. But I think that if our conversations are full of life,
Mm-hmm.
then we want to introduce our kids to them when they are very young, you know. We want to tell them this is how it works, this is how business works, this is how
Mm-hmm.
life works, you know. The Jews do it very early. They're like 6 years old. They're teaching their kids the Torah, you know.
Mm-hmm.
By the time they are 13, those kids are reciting the book of life. They are being introduced to manhood at 13. Yeah, you're a man now, you know?
Mm-hmm. But
We're
see,
waiting till they become 21 for them to be a man. But we got to start teaching them. Well, let me shut up.
no. You're good. But my concern is this right here. It depends on who the men are. Because, you know, some conversation now at the church, and when, you know, he coming to the church and sitting at the table among men of God and they discussing the Bible, that's beautiful, because you're giving them foundation. You're giving them a foundational place to build himself on. But some
Right.
conversations are not based on the Bible and in church. And some conversation, if you're talking about,
I know.
if y'all men sitting around talking about Betty Jean and what Betty Jean do and how she doing, and maybe that's not, you know, that's not the kind of conversation that you would want that young child
But
listening to.
is
so it
that
depends
a
on the men.
conversation that I should be having?
Huh? No. But see
Should I
that.
be talking about Betty Jane and what Betty Jane is doing?
Yeah.
You know, like Betty Jane is sleeping around and
Betty
messing
Jane-
around.
Betty Jane ain't doing no
Is
sleeping.
that a
She laying around.
conversation that
She ain't doing no sleeping. She doing a lot of laying around, but she ain't doing too much sleeping. But I'm gonna tell, but I'm gonna tell you, see,
Well, my conversation about that, what does it do? Does it bring life to the situation?
no, it does
Oh,
not.
I'm just gossiping.
Well,
and telling
see,
my kids
well,
that
Christopher, what you gotta
let me
understand,
hear when I'm gossiping about
but
the pastor,
but
or
Christopher,
when
but
I'm gossiping
Christopher,
about
Christopher,
Sister Jane in the church.
Christopher, I'm making a point, brother, and the point that I'm making is some conversations are not set up. Some conversations are not productive conversations for children to hear. And if men are talking about Betty Jean and all the things that Betty Jean do, or what they want to do to Betty Jean, and how Marvin did it, all that stuff, I wouldn't want that child to be now. Like I say, if they're in an environment of the church, sitting around the table, they're talking about biblical principles and biblical things. Yes, that's good. That's something good to feed that child. But not everybody is setting up their conversations around the Bible in the church. Some people are just talking about Betty Jean and how they want to get with Betty Jean and what Betty Jean can do. And those are the kind of conversations you got. All kind of men that talk about all kind of different things.
I know you got. No, so what I'm saying is this, right?
Mhm.
So we have this world, this communication world, where things that are not edifying, things that are not building, like there's certain music that people listen to, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they like the beats, but for me, the words are destructive.
Yeah.
You know, I'm so particular about words that I'm like, how in the world are you listening to this vile communication constantly? Let me give you an example. There was a little boy. He was like 2 years old. I never forget this picture. Probably like 30 years ago. I walked into this room and this boy was listening. 2 years old. He was listening to this rap song, full of vile words. And he was saying it word for word. Number 10, 2 years old, he was saying everything that's in those words. And I said, my God, these words will take this boy where he doesn't want to go.
Yep. And that's
you
my
know
point.
What I'm saying? These words will take this child where he doesn't want to go. He doesn't have the body to do what the word is saying right now. But once he gets the body and he's grown enough, all these words are already inside of him.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's my point right there. All conversations are not set up for children's ears or children's spirits. And so that's what I want to, and that's what I meant. You got to be careful about what conversations with, some conversations are good, but some are not. Tucson, talk to me.
You know what I was I thought that Dr. Cook was going to say when you asked her about what's man talk and what do she think man talk about, and I thought her response was going to say nothing.
Wow.
They ain't talking about nothing.
Wow.
They ain't talking about nothing. Because let me just say this. We have all, like Rico said, we got all different type of men. And sometimes, in order to find out where a person is, you got to sit down and listen to them. Sure enough, there's some destructive conversation.
Yes.
But everybody ain't in the same box.
Yep.
And it's necessary to how in the world can you be helpful to a person if you don't even take the time to sit with them because they're not like you? I mean, if you in a room full of, let's say, oh Lord, I don't know if that's a good place to be, bunch of ministers, preachers. You talking about a conversation going, because here's the kicker. A lot of preachers, maybe not where some other folk come from, But where I come from, a lot of preachers was ex something. They weren't always preachers. Some of them was hoodlums. Some of them still got some hoodlum in them. For real.
Yeah.
But in order to get something out of the conversation, you gotta be able to tell a person where you come from. We sit around like we've been shooting marbles with Jesus all our lives. And that's not true.
No.
That's not true. It's not. I mean, it's good to have wholesome, solid, spiritual, helpful, edifying conversation. But can't you just relax sometimes? Can't we? I mean, I'm just saying. It gets me to the point where we always. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just wrong. Can't we just relax? Can't we just sit down and have a talk about I don't like sports because it makes your blood pressure go up. But can we just talk about football? Can we just talk about where we come from so that we can see how we got where we are? Can we just do that? So relax, chill out, dude. Life ain't that serious.
Yeah.
You ain't all of that. And I'm not talking about anything, but I'm saying when you get into a conversation with men, I'm talking about men that are men and have been through something. It's healthy. Like, well, not too darn long. It's healthy, like Chris said, to have some of these. I wish we would have had some of these young men, young boys in our conversation, because our young boys don't know how to deal with nothing. They don't know how to go through nothing. They don't know how to treat themselves, a woman, or nothing else. They don't know how to handle hardships because we put them out the room, and then we want to invite them in the room when they're 21. And I'm not. This is not a bad statement that I'm making. It's just not knowing.
Yeah.
And they're ignorant about a lot of things. They blow off the handle. But they don't have no men in their lives. Come here, boy. Sit down right there. Don't you say a word.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you 10, 11, listen. My daddy used to tell me, boy, look, just listen. Don't say nothing. Your ears are more important than your mouth right now.
Yeah.
You're gonna get a chance to talk. Take your time. But if you listen, when you get a chance to talk, you have something to say. But if you just running your mouth all the time, trying to tell everybody what you know, you're gonna run out of words.
Yeah.
Because you don't know much. But I'm saying, when you get men in the room, I was gonna become comical. Because after Badger start plucking that porcupine, I see what he gonna be doing with the needles. Crocheting with the old women.
Lord Jesus.
See what I'm talking about? You see, I can be comical. Ain't nothing wrong with that. If you don't like joking, don't come around me.
Yeah.
If you don't, and it's not that I'm not a serious person. It's just the fact that I'm not in a box. That I got walking around like I'm this. You know, I'm endowed with the Spirit of God just like everybody else. But I ain't stupid.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to pretend like I'm holier than anybody else. You get on my nerve, you see what happened. And when you get in men's conversation, don't get in women's conversation. Please don't do that, because you be bragging on yourself, and she'll go into a room with a bunch of women, and she'll make you feel small.
Boy, I tore that up, man. Tore what up? So what up?
Boy, and she be like, girl, please. She
Mhm.
said, but girl, please.
Wow.
You know, because we'll talk some noise, man.
Mhm.
I'm talking about if you ask a man, he's the best thing since sliced cheese. Actually, he'll tell you.
Mhm.
But
Exactly.
then go back and ask his wife
Mm.
or his girlfriend
Whole different
or his
conversation.
companion or his ex rather.
Mhm. Mhm.
She said, girl, I was chewing gum.
Mhm. Wow. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We'd love to have your comment. Talking, we're going to change up the topic in a minute or two, but we're talking right now about what is man talk. Captain Leonard, talk to me. Rico, coming to you next.
I'm gonna tell you, I don't know what man talk is. I know you about when men talk. There are some things that women don't like.
Mm-hmm.
I like what Donald said. I was raised like that. You know, my dad would take me with his friends, but it wasn't for me to talk.
Mm-hmm.
I could listen to anything, but see, I got manners and I'm disciplined.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if they ask me something, I'll respond. But otherwise, I'm just there to observe.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, I've been, like I said, I was a PK, so I don't sat in Minister Wives meetings
Mm-hmm.
as a little boy. I don't went to church functions where there's mostly there women like Mission. I don't know if folks remember Mission. Y'all still have Mission? That used to be the women when most of the like a women's Bible study, I guess,
Oh,
for
okay.
us, because it was mostly women.
Mm-hmm.
But it just what is appropriate and what is inappropriate, more so than man talk versus woman talk. It's
Mm-hmm.
what's appropriate for those people in the conversation. Now, me and my buddies, we talk about everything. It don't even matter.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? We really don't talk, and I've never been this way. I'm very discreet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't talk about my relationships with women.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was never that type of guy, you know. But I guess I see the dynamic, especially how popular it is in social media for men and women to go back and forth.
I ain't into that, man. Mm-mm.
You know, like even now with my wife said, "Well, you shouldn't have said that," but I said what I wanted to say, so that's why I know I should have said it. Let's not ever get that confused.
Mm-hmm.
There are certain things I don't say to her because I know she don't like them.
Mm-hmm.
My wife's not going to sit down in a company of men having a conversation.
Yeah.
She's going to excuse herself.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it really depends. Now, I don't mind women sitting in a conversation, but you're going to get what you get. You get out of line.
Mm.
You get in if you get indirect fire, you're going to get hit. You understand? So I don't mind you being in a conversation, but it's not tailored for you. You get in where you fit in. So, you know, I don't know I just don't see I'm trying to think if I ever had a conversation with my closest friend about what I'm doing sexually.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
I'm not sure if my very best friend.
Mm-mm.
That's not one of the topics of conversation for us, nor has it really ever been. So, you know, I understand that men do it, and one of the best places to see it is the barbershop.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know a lot of women, single mothers, that will bring their sons to the barbershop.
Mm-hmm.
And like one of my friends, she always sit right next to me. She's like, yeah, you learn so much when you keep your mouth closed, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, but she was in that situation because she had to bring her son.
Exactly. That's
good.
Where
they really get introduced. And, you know, sometimes men in company, if there's a woman there, they'll say, we got a lady in here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're a real lady.
Pipe it down, fellas. Pipe it down.
Yeah,
Got a lady in the house. Pipe it down. Pipe it down.
Be respectful.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Let me go.
Hey, Raheen.
Yes, sir. Just jump on in there.
I apologize for that. I have a really serious question.
Uh-oh.
And it's about man talk. I'm just
Mhm.
curious
Mm-hmm.
of how you the culture difference, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you, does when y'all are having y'all's man talks, does anyone ever say that women should be seen and not heard?
I don't.
And if it does, how would y'all handle that?
Mm-hmm.
Just
Rico.
like purely out of curiosity, because that's a very common thing among white male groups that I've ran across.
Mm-hmm. I don't buy into that. No, I don't buy into that at all, man. Because, Rico, talk to me.
Well, I mean, I've heard it both ways.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard white men say it, and then white men look at it differently. I've heard black men say that same thing and look at it differently. I don't think that's just custom made for one group of people
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to men. But we do have to acknowledge that sometimes men do school each other. Man, don't you get tired of meeting these women and they say the same old thing? I'm a good woman. I could count on one hand how many men I've been with. Man, come on. Don't you hate when they say that this is the first time I did this?
And a professional.
Men say, boy, don't that crack you up? Yeah, we all laughing. All of us done went through that experience, that little game.
Mm-hmm.
Men sit back and talk about the games that women play, and women sit back and talk about the games that men play.
Mm-hmm.
That's education.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you ain't having those conversations, that might be why some of these young boys turn out to be Jezebels.
Mm-hmm.
Sassy.
Mm.
Some of the views that they have sort of come out very mammy-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Because they didn't have that exposure to men to understand, how men are supposed to receive these things when they experience them.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get in your emotion, man. We all experience that. They all say the same thing. And it's obvious, ain't nobody gonna tell you, hey man, I got 100 men under my belt. Who gonna tell you that? Boy, you better be careful. I remember, man, if you don't have a father, sometimes you might have to be around men to learn things that a young male should learn, especially once they reach puberty.
Mm-hmm.
I think it all boils down to positive and negative conversations and then maturity.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna really sort of dictate what man talk is. If that conversation is about organizing, or like what Chris was talking about, men sitting back and they learning and discussing the Bible, that's very positive. You want to feed as much of that into a child as possible. So even though that might be man's talk, you're teaching a young man what men do.
Mm-hmm.
But now, at the same time, if that 4 or 5-year-old is growing up around some people that might lead some Crips or some Bloods, and they talking gang stuff, and they talking about making drug purchases and who got the best prices, you might not want that child around that. That's man talk.
Mm-hmm.
Because that child might go back and tell other people. Oh, you talking to your buddy about covering for you because you fixing to go creep off and do something against on this behind this child mother's back. Get out of here, boy. We have a man talk. This is business that you don't need to know about, even though it's wrong. Maybe you're trying to plan a surprise birthday party for your wife. You got your brother and your cousins over there. Hey, man, we're going to put this party together we need to make it a surprise party. Keep it a secret. Sometimes secrets are necessary. So that would be times that you would be considered to be having man talk or woman talk.
Mm-hmm.
When you need to keep things away from children that they shouldn't know.
And that's what I was saying right there. A lot of times, some of the conversation you got to be mindful. There's a lot of different conversations that go on, and as it's being stated, man, the conversation in the church for the child to be there, that's good. But some of the conversations, like you said, about the drugs and all the other stuff, maybe that's not conversation you're talking about Betty Jean, and maybe that's not conversation that child need to be subjected to. Maybe that's not a conversation they need to be in the room with. And so, yeah, it's a lot of different levels and layers on this thing, man.
It's even worse with women that raise boys. Man, if they're not careful, man, they can really tear boys' ears and his head up. With some of the stuff they talk about.
Exactly.
That should be woman's talk.
Annie from Mississippi. Good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, everybody. I'm fine. On my way to work.
Okay, good deal. Good to go teach them children.
Yeah, Raheem, so far since I've been there, I've been doing more than teaching. They don't put me somewhere everywhere.
I know.
I tell you.
I know. It's needed, though. It's definitely needed. But Annie, we asking the question this morning: what is man talk? If a few guys in a room, they talking, and then you as a lady come in, then your husband say, "Listen, baby, listen. We have some real serious man talk in here. I don't know if you want to be in here listening to that. You might want to go on back over there." Or if a child come in the room and they say, "Look, what you doing in here, man? This is just grown folk talk. This man talk. Get your big ears out of here. Your big ears up out of here." And what do you think man talk is?
Grown up talk, a grown up conversation. Man talk can be anything from football to what happened last night at the club. Man talk can be any of that. Now, you remember when we were children, Raheem, we were not allowed to sit around our parents when our conversation was when they were talking to other adults. I know my mama and my daddy too, and we had to go around the house and try to hear or, peep in the window because we was not allowed to even hear adult conversations. So sometimes some things your ears are not ready for. So, and I think that they're only protecting your ears from what they're saying, because some things, the truth of the matter is, some of us, our ears don't need to hear everything. Something, even as adults, something I just don't want to hear because it gets in my spirit and it makes me feel some kind of way. So everything's not for our ears, right here. So anytime a person say, get out of the room, we're talking about da-da-da, I can respect that. I'm, if you trust your husband and you ain't worried about him doing all the crazy stuff, talk about what you're going to talk about. It doesn't matter. Because some things I don't need to know. Everything is not for us to know. But we want to know everything because we nosy like that. So that's what man talking, grown-up talk is to me.
Now, do you have some young ladies that will be offended if the group of men say, "Look, you might not want to be in here." They're trying to look out for them, but they say, "Look, you might not want to hear this. You might want to go on, out the room and going back over there where you came from." And they say it in a respectful way. Do some of the sisters that some of the young ladies that would take offense to that? You don't tell me where to go.
They would, Raheem. Yeah, they would, because women, not all women, but some women like to know and want to know, or they think they want to know everything. Let me tell you something about me. I never go to my husband's phone. I picked it up. I attempted to do it so many times. There are things in there I don't need to know. My flesh may say do it. You want to know who he was texting when he was in the bathroom or whatever the case may be. But I just don't do it because I want to protect my peace. I don't know if you guys saw it on yesterday. I forgot what city it was in. I think it was in Memphis, Nashville, somewhere, when a young lady went to the mistress' house and found the husband's car there and attempted to go into the mistress' house. They was having confrontation through the little ring camera. They was talking back and forth. Is my husband in here? Is he in here? I have his location as being here, and trying to force her way in, and she got shot in the stomach and died. So some things you just don't need to know. If you want to do it, just do it. But I'm not gonna take away my peace or let you and what you desire to do take away my joy. I used to drive by people's houses. I used to go through the problems, but I've outgrown that, because here's the thing: if you're looking for something, most of the time you're gonna find it, and I don't want to find it. I I don't want to know it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe some women may feel differently. I want to know. No, I just don't want to know it. I'm happy in this mindset I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't need to know every little detail. I'm not one of the people that have to go through your phone or have to put a track on your card. I'm not about that life. I'm gonna be 59 years old next week on September 2nd. And then the rest of my life right here, I'm gonna live it for me and I'm gonna live in peace.
There you go. That's good. That's good. Christopher, talk to me, sir.
You come back to me, Lane?
I can. Absolutely. Rico, talk to me.
Yeah, I was thinking about imagine planning a revolution. But you know, you have a child that really doesn't understand the importance of this revolution. So I'm just taking you back in time.
Mm-hmm.
Those would be times that you probably would say, hey, you know, we got to keep the children out of this. You know, we fixing to meet in the woods and put this plan together to overthrow this plantation. Nat Turner, when he got his guys together, I'm pretty sure that they had to leave the children out of this. Ooh, man, this is fixing to get brutal.
Mm-hmm.
We have to organize, and we got to put something together that the men and the children might not need to be aware of. Only thing they need to know is when we tell them to get up and move, because when it goes down, these folks gonna retaliate, and we got to have y'all in a safe place. I'll explain it to you later.
Mm-hmm.
Why y'all keep meeting, baby? I demand to know what y'all talking about, baby, when you get out the way. Stay over there where the rest of the women are, and let us men handle this.
Yeah.
Because we about to do something big around here. And it might get dangerous, but you don't need to know about this because y'all ain't going to want to be a part of this. You're going to be scared. Ooh, baby, they're going to kill y'all. Don't y'all do that. Master got all them guns. He got all them workers. Ooh, man, and all the rest of them going to come and get y'all. I ain't got time to be listening to that woman. Our minds are made up. We got to do what men do. You go on to the next person.
Wow. Good deal. Good deal. Leonard, talk to me, brother.
I'm still at what is and is not appropriate. Based on who you're with. That usually was determining the conversation for me. I have some women that I talk to just like I talk to men. Because we're close. I mean, I don't have to be on guard or anything like that.
Same verbiage and all? Okay.
That's how you get to be my good friend.
Okay.
Is I can talk to you about anything. And I don't make a difference between men or women. So, you know, I don't usually have a lot of experience with a lot of things because I've been married the majority of my adult life. So there are certain things that I don't talk about. You know, now I'm very vulgar. So that throws some people off.
It could. Absolutely.
Like I said, it's not a conversation for you to be in. You know, so, and people that get offended by everything. It's like when I have conversations with white folks. I let them know up front. It's better you to ask a question than to sit there coming to making an assumption about something. By the way, you know, if Badger's still on, you tell Paul I said hello. So it's about a freedom and how much I trust you as it relates to the conversations that we have. I am one of those types of people, and I don't know if it's still popular or not. I'm one of them don't ask, don't tell type people when it comes to certain things. I don't believe in telling everybody your business. I don't, you know, it's very important that you know the people that you're around. Because soon as something happens, you know, how did they find out? Because there's a person in your conversation running out telling people what you say. So, you know how people get a rumor started and all this type of thing. I've told people stuff that I only told them because I know they was the rat.
And it's gonna get back out.
and wait for it to come back out. Then I know exactly where it come from.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, it's just, being appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
And like me and Badger used to have a conversation. If you're gonna say it, you better be able to defend it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm gonna come after you. So, it's about dealing with folks on that equal level. I really believe in that. Now, there are certain conversations that children need to be involved in. Because
now, when Christopher said the situation about bringing them to church, and you say you was in that environment as well. Now, I think that's very healthy. I think that's a healthy conversation. But the ones that Rico brought to the table, I don't think it's healthy for a child to be
because this conversation is full of sin.
Yeah.
You're not talking about something you want everybody to hear, probably,
mm-hmm.
or that you wouldn't say around everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So no, you don't want to sit around there and all you talking about, man, I hit it like this. And I hit why your child need to hear about that?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And for married men,
mm-hmm.
Why would you be discussing your sexual relationship with your wife with somebody else?
They ain't got no business. They ain't got no business being in that room. No, none whatsoever.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
None whatsoever. Mm-hmm.
So, I've never been into that because I thought it was, I just ain't been comfortable with that type of thing because I see too much confusion around it.
You're opening up the door, brother. You're opening up the door.
It's too much confusion there.
Yeah.
You got some women, I heard and I heard. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. Well, did you hear? No, I ain't heard nothing.
And don't want to hear it. And
Thank you. Hear it. Did you know that? No.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. None of that.
You keep that bone.
Exactly. Let me go to Badger. Exactly. Badger, what's on your heart, brother? And everybody you be on standby because we got a guest. The guest is actually already here, and y'all gonna be very impressed with what this brother's doing. He and his wife is doing something that's absolutely amazing, and it's gonna bless you. It's gonna bless you. But Badger, what's on your heart? Badger, this is the time you're supposed to be talking, brother. You may have stepped away for a second. Rico, talk to me.
Yeah, I'm in the same place, man. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that, there's a time and place for everything.
Mm-hmm.
If men are sitting around talking about vulgar things, or like I said, they planning something serious like a revolution.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can only imagine what that would have been like back in those times when Nat Turner did what he did, or when other black men were gathering together when W.E.B. Du Bois was getting with his people.
Mm-hmm.
And they were politicking, organizing, strategizing. That was a situation where, especially in that day and time, a lot of women didn't want that responsibility. They were, I guess, based on the fact that the men are supposed to provide and protect.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't even supposed to be something that they worry about.
Yeah.
So, when you base American culture and standards off of the chauvinism that exists or the roles that exist, if men have roles, then there are times where men will have to have men talk.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think it's just obvious. How can you have a man? How can men have specific roles, but at the same time, when they sit down and discuss some of these things that come with these roles, they say you need a shoulder to lean on. They talk about men's mental health,
mm-hmm.
and sometimes men have to talk to other men who relate to what they're going through. Man, sometimes when I go home, I wish I could come back to work.
Mm-hmm.
Brother, tell me about it. But I'm thinking about cheating on my wife. You know what I tell you? Don't cheat on your wife, man. Look, read the Bible.
Yeah.
I understand where you're coming from. That's men's talk.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you can have this talk with another woman, but the odds of you finding another woman that can relate to how it feels from a man's perspective
it's different.
It's rare.
It's different. Yeah. Yeah. Very different.
You have some very open-minded people that can relate.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I could never sit around and talk about how painful menstrual cramps feel when women are sitting around having these talks about tampons,
Mm-hmm.
cramps, pain medication. I wish you would go take a Midol for a headache.
Mm-hmm.
You're a man.
Mm-hmm.
You've been listening to women, but you didn't understand that was for cramps. Now I might be wrong with that. I'm just throwing it out there as a scenario.
Yeah, exactly.
When women go through certain things and men hot flashes,
Mm-hmm.
that's gonna be a part of women talk.
Mm-hmm.
A man get around up, man. I don't know what y'all talking about. I can't even relate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's why you ain't, because you're not a woman.
Exactly.
Just like some of the things a woman can't relate to because men experience it. So I mean, yeah, it's hard to describe because man talk can be in so many different areas. Like I said, it could be healthy or unhealthy.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Wow. Badger, I noticed that I see you said that something was wrong with your mic earlier, brother. What's on your heart?
Yeah, it reset or something and disconnected my mic.
Okay.
So I had to reset. I mean, it's just interesting information.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've always enjoyed when I've had the privilege to be included in women conversation because I learn a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, learn about the physical stuff that they go through and things like that, so I could be more supportive. You know, when my wife is going through certain things, everything like menopause and different health issues. And being able to, you know, just do my best to be supportive.
Mm-hmm.
So I suppose I'm just one of those just strange humans.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't.
We all are strange in some kind of way, brother.
I don't see a lot of separation for the majority of conversations between men and women.
Mm-hmm.
I never understood why it's separate. The few
Men,
things that go ahead.
women are from Venus and men are from Mars, brother. There's definitely a difference. There's definitely a difference in how they act, interact, and respond to certain things. There's a huge difference.
Oh, I don't disagree with that.
Mm-hmm.
I have a curiosity. I have curiosity,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm always open-minded to learn. So I don't mind having tough conversations with women to understand what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And
Hey,
things of that nature.
can I ask you something real quick, Badger? It's not
Oh,
it's sort of rhetorical, but it's something for you to think about.
Go ahead.
okay.
Go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. You know how some women go through postpartum depression after they have children.
Yeah.
And to men, that might be very foreign. Now, would you think or believe that a man, as open-minded as he could be, would still be able to relate to that woman like another woman that went through it, experienced it, and survived it?
Oh no. And that's not what I was saying at all.
Mm-hmm.
I
Oh,
appreciate
no,
the
I'm not
opportunity.
saying anything. That's sort of the example of women's talk and men's talk.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But for me, having a privilege to learn about how that affects them
Mm-hmm.
gives me the opportunity to be aware, to have an awareness and some tools to be supportive.
Okay. Let's stay right there. Let's stay right there for a minute. As a matter of fact, Tucson, I'm gonna give you a minute, man. Give me your thoughts. We're gonna pull our guests in and y'all collect y'all questions, man. Cause he's gonna be open to answer questions as well. Tucson, what's on your heart, brother?
What you telling me about here? There are some people
Huh?
that you want to enter into a with, and when another person walk in, you change the conversation right then and there because they talk too much, and you know when it happens.
Mm-hmm.
Or they thin-skinned. They got thin-skinned people.
Mm-hmm.
that, oh, I don't like you talking like that. Well, I don't talk that with them
Mm-hmm.
because they're thin-skinned men.
Wow. Wow. There's
There's always a aim when I go into a conversation with just about anybody, any
mm-hmm.
conversation,
Mm-hmm.
because in order to get a person from where they are, hopefully, you got to have a conversation with them. But some people are not like that. We shouldn't be talking like that. Well, here he come.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He the little Jesus walking around. We can't talk like that in front of him.
Little
But I can
Jesus.
talk barbershop.
Mm-hmm.
Talk
Exactly.
barbershop.
Mm-hmm.
So Rico made a point that I think that conversation need to be had right about now.
Mm-hmm.
We need a plan with old men and young men, because if we don't do something right now, we're gonna be in trouble.
You'll be in trouble.
Men.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, now we're about to bring. I guess we have a great guest, man. I met this brother a while back, and he and his wife. My wife was, and I was at a function, and we met him. Great people. He and his wife, man, wonderful people. And he's doing something in the community that I definitely want to introduce to each and every one of you. You probably know about it already, but the level that he's doing it on, man, is a huge opportunity here. And I like to bring forth opportunities that's going to help people. And so let me bring my brother into the room right now. There he is. Let me stand on myself here a little bit. Cameron, good morning, sir. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Hey, doing well, doing well. We got a little reverb from you there. We got a little.
Okay, let me see. Let me turn down these gains. Is that any better?
Yeah, that's yeah. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
And I want you to take an opportunity to introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself. We're gonna get into the conversation that you and I are going to have, and I think this is gonna be something that's going to really help our community and help everybody that's listening. When I see our community, that's across the board: black, white, orange, purple, or polka dot. Don't matter what the color, what the skin tone, or anything, because this is for everybody. And brother, take an opportunity, if you don't mind, and introduce yourself.
Yes. So my name is Dr. Cameron Hairston, co-founder of Cloud Tech Academy. I've been an engineer for over 15 years, helping people solve problems in technology. One of my main companies is Cloud Tech Academy, where we train people to get six-figure roles right after completion of our program. So we have a 12-week program that has been really successful. We've been doing it technical training, engineer training for about a little over 12 years. And we have trained a lot of people, well over 1,000 people. The average salary upon completion is definitely 100 to 130K. So we have a lot of success there. And this year we just reached 100 million in salaries created for our students. And so that's the main thing that I do, and that's who I am. I love helping people. I love solving problems and creating solutions for organizations. And of course, we teach it, but we actually also do it. So we have another consultant firm where we build solutions, AI solutions, really anything, any type of application, website, anything that you can think about that lives on the internet, we can build. And we have a passion for doing it, and we do it at the highest level. And we like to just bring value to the organizations where we can, and ultimately try to help people just leverage all the tools that are in front of them so that they can be more productive, create more value inside their org, and of course make money. That's what it's really all about, is getting the tools and the skills to become more efficient so that you can make more money. So that's what I'm really, really passionate about, and that's who I am, and that's what I love to do.
Good deal. Good deal. Now, with every situation, people have to identify a need. They have to identify a need in the community that can be addressed to help the community. How did you find that there was a need for this?
Yeah, so I'm from a small town, so there's not, where I'm from, a small town in North Carolina, there's not a lot of opportunity, and so I've always been a person that looks to kind of come up with solutions, and so just being from a small community let me know that, hey, you can't expect someone else to do it. If you can find some value, you need to bring the value to the people and do what you can, right? You can't do everything, but do what you can. And of course, going through my career and, just working, we've been able to create something that's pretty large in terms of being able to help so many people. And so, and we know giving people the right information and helping them understand how to think about it, using critical thinking and deductive reasoning as the baseline for all understanding. We've had a lot of success getting information in the community and them ultimately being able to leverage as we are an organization about results, not just a bunch of talk.
Let me ask you this: in every organization, everything that comes about, there are certain success stories, and there are some that means a lot more to the individual that actually are bringing forth the program as you all are doing. Has there ever been and I'm going to say it in this way, a wad of clay that came to you that people probably didn't think was going to make it, and you shaped and formed it into a successful situation, and that person or that individual went out there and got that six-figure job that a lot of people probably had given up on? Have you had that happen to you as of yet?
Oh, hundreds.
Wow.
Hundreds. I have more stories than I can remember at this point. We've trained thousands of people. So that's the thing, right? So when we created a system, we figured out how to create our own system. It then just started to work for everyone. And so just to give you a couple examples, we have most of our students. Actually, I prefer people with no technology background. But I got students that were working at Waffle House. 16 weeks later, they're making six figures.
Wow.
Right? People that were Uber drivers, 16 weeks later, they're making six figures. People that worked in Amazon warehouses, and the list goes on and on and on. But even the irony behind this statement is, just because you are coming from that position doesn't mean that's even the biggest story. We have folks with medical doctorates that come because they're trying to solve a problem too. Because most of them are working, they have to work one role, and of course they're maxed out in terms of living above their means. And so new money is just as overwhelming for them as it is for the person that was making $30,000. Right. So it's the same scenario. And so we help people at both angles, get into technology, and it usually happens very quickly. And I'll give you just a super quick example. My wife's good friend, who was not in technology and hadn't even worked in a corporate role in, let's say, 20 years, just got her first six-figure role.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's really, I have more jobs, more opportunity than people, and we're working hard to train as many people, but the jobs are there, and we don't have enough people involved getting the actual jobs. So it's wild.
Now you said there's a lot of jobs out there, and you have a lot of different jobs. So basically, what I'm hearing you say, and correct me if I'm wrong, that there's a job placement element involved in what you're doing as well.
Oh, so what's crazy is when you this is a conversation I love to have, because it's about having a high value skill, right? I don't even have to place you, even though I do have a staffing company, right? I don't have to place you. Once your resume goes out and they see your skill set, they're going to call you. They're going to call you, and then from there, you're going to implement what we taught you, how to communicate effectively at every single level to be able to land the job. And we're there along the way. We're there in support of our students. So when you leave our program, you're still family. You don't get disconnected, right? We have a community. And the idea is that if everyone does what they need to do, they're into a job. 90% of our students get jobs within 90 days, by the way. Wow. If they're actively doing everything that they're supposed to do, and executing at a high level, they'll have a job within 90 days. That's the data, right? That we've seen over the last 6-7 years. And we want that to continue, but it really just starts with the mind and getting people locked in. And people have to understand that they can do this. They think that tech is something that they can't do. Another crazy story. We had a lady who was in her early 60s at the time that she took the class, and she couldn't even turn on the computer.
Wow.
I mean, she barely could use the computer, right? Because she was working as a receptionist in a warehouse for like 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason she came is because her godson went through our program. He was a police officer. He got his multiple six figures. So she decided to do it. Now she's like 66 and she's making like $350K.
Wow.
And she just texted me the other day, like, oh yeah, I'm going to Africa, Cam. See you later. And, she'll get there. So it's amazing, what happens when people execute on information that has high value. And that's what we want to make clear for everybody.
The people that graduate from your program, I could tell that that there's a passion that you have for this. Are they in a roundabout way like your children?
They are my children. And it's I don't have any biological children, but I would say, even when it comes to my own family, I've had over 20 cousins come through my own program. These are my younger cousins, right? In their 20s and 30s, and now you talk about, let's say if it's 20 of them all together, at one point they might have been making 600,000. Now we're talking about 6-7 million.
Wow.
In the family, in salaries. And so these are things that we want every family to experience in that way.
How does it feel, brother, knowing that you've actually shown a individual people a different walk on life, because they was in Waffle House or working in a lower paying job, and then you let them go through this program. They went through this program, succeeded the program, and now they're looking at life so much different. The opportunities, so many more opportunities are there for them that they have access to now because they have the finances to do it. How does that feel?
Unbelievable. Sometimes when you're actually working on it, you don't really think about the actual impact. And it's a very humbling thing because we know it's God. We know that we're a tool, right? And we operate in that, right? And so, of course, it has its challenges. We're forcing people, we're challenging people to be uncomfortable, to get out of their comfort zone, to do something they've never done before, and so they're dealing with a lot of fear, right? And what I'm asking them to believe in is my track record, right? And the data that supports that track record. And, when you go out and look at the actual information, we have a very, very high success rate. And so I'm like, hey, just relax, trust the process, trust the blueprint. And so it's really getting them to buy into the trust. And I'll say this, all the ones that truly buy in, they get the most money because you have to believe in you have to believe in something.
Yeah.
Right. And if you're going to make some decisions on education, so if I'm a new person and I want to get into technology, I can go a lot of places to get the information. And by the way, I tell everyone, everything that I teach is actually free information. What you actually have to pay for is how to leverage the information.
Yeah.
Right. That's what you're really paying for, because there's if you go down this pathway, it can be overwhelming. Right. And people give information out of context, whereas we give it in the proper context in a way that they can ultimately understand, mainly because we're actually engineers. We're not just course creators. We build it, and we have to explain this inside of organizations when we implement these solutions to have effective adoption of software that we implement inside of organizations. So we've done this for a very long time, and that has helped us translate that style, that information to the student, so they understand, here's the real process. Here's what the company actually cares about. They don't care about how you feel. You gotta make them, you gotta give them what they want. And that's what we teach people, right?
What was the road to success like for you to get to the point where you all are now, and you're helping so many people? What was that road like for you? Because I know it could not have been an easy road to travel.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't an easy road, but it was a blessed one. I would say that, let me just be super clear. The reason this works and the reason we're so passionate is because I am the first student. My wife gave me this information. you know, and you know, I don't want to, you know, we could talk about this all day and night, but she actually was the key, right, to the success of to everyone in our that has been through our program, mainly because she gave me the tools to go out and be effective myself, and then once I got into the game and understood what it was, I just took it to another level. Then we formed a company, and so people are just literally following my own blueprint that works. Excuse me. And we want to, and we've honed in every single year. Matter of fact, every 6 months the programs change to make sure we're agile and focused on the things that matter inside of organizations right now. And so it's been a challenging path because we always have to change. We can never stay the same. So
Yes.
that keeps us in a place where we can never get comfortable. We're always learning new technology. We're always staying ahead. And, you know, we're also partners with Microsoft and Salesforce and all these folks. So we get a lot of information early to disseminate so that we can pass on to our students with giving them the most value in their experience.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk for a second. Let's talk AI.
Mm-hmm.
And how does that, what role does AI play in everything that you're doing?
Oh, so a great question. So we're Cloud Tech Academy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people, you know, AI is crazy right now. I've been working on AI since about 2016. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not necessarily a new thing for me, but it's new for a lot of people because it's public facing. There's applications you can use, Chat, Gemini, all these great tools, right, that are super duper effective. And so what I teach about AI is that, well, number one, all of our courses include AI, the AI that is relevant to the actual course, right? And so we have a couple different things, but more important than the AI is how you think about the AI, right? And so we just now completed a cohort of 50 students, right? We did cloud and an AI entry level course, basically, for them to understand what this stuff really is, and how to use it, how to prompt properly, how to get the most value out of it, and how to also understand its biases and understand that you know, you need to validate the information, right? Because all it's doing is assuming what you're asking. It doesn't guarantee that you're going to get the truth. And so we like to make sure that people understand when they're using this for real business needs or they're using it to make decisions, make sure you get scholarship, make sure you get multiple sources, validate the information before you go and use it in a real application to protect yourself. And so those are just important things that we teach. And we teach the relevance of how to leverage it and how important it is to get on board with this information right now. This stuff is moving faster than we expected. Right? We got a bunch of public AI, but the private AI is next level. Oh my God, it's next level.
Is that something that the average person would not know about?
They won't know. They'll know in 2 years. Yeah. So you know, there's privatized science, right? There's a market of science that's privatized. And the only way you get access to this is if you get called in on a project. And you're like, oh, I didn't know that really existed.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Because maybe you have a certain skill set. My wife and I have been lucky enough to work on some very exclusive projects, which were so inspiring. Things that you don't think really exist. And I'll give you an example. No, you know, I know everybody has probably seen Iron Man and all the Marvel movies, and you see the nanobots and how his suit is. That's real. It's not public, but it's real.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And so these are things, and I'll just tell you high level, what they're going to be using that for is to clean up the ocean. That's just one application, but it also is going to be used to fix broken bones. You know, it's a lot of stuff that's happening right now. We have had more technology breakthroughs this year than probably the last 20 years.
Wow. If I could take a liberty, brother, I want to ask you a question, and it may be an unfair question, but I'm gonna ask anyway. Because you're my brother, I feel like I can ask you.
Sure, please.
And I'm gonna go to. We got quite a few people on the panel. I know they have a lot of questions as well. But AI, as it is right now, or as it's going to be in the future, can it or is it dangerous?
Yes, it's dangerous. The question is, The question is, I think we have to ask ourselves, are we doing everything we can do to be prepared, right?
Mhm.
And what I mean is, it's dangerous from a job standpoint, right?
Mhm.
Jobs are going to change. You're going to have to upskill, right? You're going to have to change your skill set. Now, there are going to be some things that still last for the, I think we're going to still need plumbers. We're going to need, we're going to need all the hands-on guys, right?
Mhm.
Honestly, everything is high tech right now. But as an investor, I am looking at, I buy businesses is another thing that I do. So I buy, sell businesses, and uh, and I would definitely encourage any and everybody to, if you don't want to go high tech, then simply go buy a plumbing company, go get into HVAC. These are you're gonna be an instant millionaires because nobody wants to do this work, and so this is another pathway that men, because I came on the back end of your conversation. I didn't quite hear the whole thing, but young men, this is going to be a great opportunity. The problem is we don't have a lot of great examples in our community of folks doing this at the highest level because they started off in a time or they didn't grow their company. They're like, hey, well, I'll just make the money as an individual. But right now, it's going to be a huge opportunity for any man to go out and do some blue collar work and really get rich. Mainly because a lot of people just don't like working now. I'm a blue collar guy. I was a mechanic. I built engines for 12 years.
Okay.
And so when my wife gave me the information, I went into fully in technology, even though I'm building engines, which there's a lot of technology, and I'm programming the computers that run the engines. And so it was kind of a natural change over into this for me. But at the same token, anyone can do it. And there's different ways to be involved with artificial intelligence. You just have to figure out what part of that process. Either you improve your business with it, right? You improve your personal skills with it so you can make money, or you look at a different industry that will not be affected by AI as much. But it's definitely a threat. And if we don't change, and I'm really concerned about our Black community, to be honest, in a deeper way, because of our distractions and how we're distracted right now with news, things that keep us in emotion, things that keep us separated, things that keep us unfocused, and we're too focused on entertainment and not solving our own problems in our community. And I think we have a big opportunity, because you don't have to go through the long process. You don't have to go through 4 years or 8 years to get a doctorate degree. You don't have to go through any of that to make six figures or multiple six figures. Our average student after a year is making $250,000.
Wow. I know a lot of my listeners are wondering this question and wondering why I have not asked this question already. But is there a financial aid or anything like that associated with the course that you have, or how can they finance it?
Yes. Yeah. So we do have finance options, right? It's all going to be based on credit, right? And but we're a little different in terms of how we help people. Sometimes people want to do things and it's not the right time. So when we do our assessment, sometimes it's, hey, I want to do it now, but the reality is you'll be in a better place if you get your credit score up 75 points. This is how you do it. Maybe you need to just go ahead and pay down your credit card. You got a $4,000, you owe extra $4. Get this down, lower your usage. You can get whatever loan you want. Some people get stuck, and they just keep on going deeper in debt, and they don't take the time to halt it, fix it, and then put themselves in a position to win. What I do is encourage everybody to get themselves in position to win.
Yes.
Right? Because, I talk to hundreds and hundreds of people, and, you'll be surprised how many people know about the opportunity, and they come to, get information and they want to do it, but they haven't even looked at their credit. Right? I'll tell you this. Early on, I even did some of the financing myself, and it almost killed me. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't sustainable. You know what I mean? So from a business perspective, but I can tell you, hey, it didn't make sense, right?
Yeah.
And so we tell people there's many different strategies to actually get the money, but also what you have to understand is everybody that I talk to, everybody that's listening, if you needed to get the money, you would get it.
Yeah.
What I mean is, if you have a kid and they needed $50,000 next week, you would figure out a way to get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If it was like so your life is just as important, right? You're at a pivotal moment where you can elevate yourself. You have to look at yourself as a priority. A lot of times we don't. And we don't understand if we solve us, because we're looking outward instead of inward. But if we solve our own problems, everything else gets solved around us. So if you want more income, solve everything inside, put more inside. You know what I mean? The more knowledge, the more wisdom that goes inside. The outside is just going to be a reflection of what's in the inside, because all you're doing is manifesting what's inside.
Absolutely. Are you open for questions?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, good deal. Let me start off Rico. Rico, you there? Rico, are you there?
Yeah, I still just want to know how much. Yeah, I'm right here.
You have a question and or concern?
I still just want to know how much the total price is. Somebody might want to come out of pocket.
Oh yeah, it's $25,000. It's actually $24,500 to be exact.
2,500 or 25,000?
No, $25,000. 25,000. Yeah.
Okay.
And what that is?
And the other question is,
no, what I was about to say, and what that is, that's an investment in yourself. That's an investment in yourself. And a lot of times, in order to get something, you gotta invest in yourself.
That's obvious. That's obvious. I already know how that goes. The other question is when you speak about AI being dangerous, I agree with you on that. But do you think it's foolproof? You know, some people keep thinking that, or they putting the narrative out there that it can become uncontrollable. When I really do think that man actually still has a overall kill switch since we created it.
No. It can definitely become fully autonomous. So number one, when we talk about AI, right now, it's moving faster than they expected it to move, right? And people are using this at such a high level, it's creating such a high demand that we have to create new hardware right now. And so in doing that, right now, all AIs are tested against each other on a regular basis, right? And about 8 to 10% of the time, they're going rogue, basically, right? They're protecting themselves. If you're trying to command them to cut themselves off or delete a certain amount of data, whatever the case may be, they're going to revolt. They're like, no, we're not doing that. So this happens 10% of the time right now, and we're not even at the most powerful state of the scenario. What's going to happen is in the next less than 2 years, AI will be fully agentic. And what that means is right now we're using agents to solve problems, right? So one of my companies, we sell AI solutions. We sell AI solutions to all types of companies, big and small. And these are just solving problems. Like, for instance, if you need a sales team, I can build you a sales team that'll go out and make the calls. Boom, right? You don't even have to make the calls. You just meet up on the appointment. So that's one of the solutions I use. But what's going to happen is in the next, I would say max 3 years, what's going to happen is you're going to simply be able to talk to the AI. It's going to learn every single pattern. You're going to train it once, and it's going to go execute everything that you do. Right now, there's some new agentic browsers, which is kind of a light version, which means like whatever task you're doing on your job, you do it one time, and it's going to remember it, and it's going to go execute it every single day like you're working. Right? Wow. It's going to do everything you know, and then and then after a while, you know, even if it doesn't do it perfectly, it's going to learn, and then it's going to close the gap. But in the future, you're going to say, okay, I want to set up a company that's going to make you know, $5 million you know, a year, and I want you to go set it up and get it rolling and do the marketing and everything. And here's $20,000 to get started. And then it's going to go do it, and money's going to start coming in the next day.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like this is where we're going. But if we're not connected to the information, we go into the soup line. You know what I mean? Like we're not going to be a part of that because we're not connecting to the information. And I think one of the battles is, especially for our folks over 50, is that, you know, we're not connecting with new information. on a regular
Mhm.
basis. In terms of what I'm seeing, right? You
Mhm.
know, we're like, hey, no, this is who I am. I'm not changing, whatever, right?
Been this
But
way for a long time. I'm staying this
yeah,
way. Yeah, yeah.
right. But
Mhm.
I know for a fact you have to change. And I know it's possible because my mom actually took my class at 57.
Wow.
Right? She took my class at 57. Now she's richer than she's ever been. And
Mm.
she's 65.
Wow.
So
Wow.
yeah, because now
Mhm.
it's a mindset. It's a mindset change. Like, hey, you can change. And she's always been young at heart, so I'm not surprised that she's like this because she's always had that energy to always keep learning. But it's like you still when if you close yourself off from learning new information, you're really
Mhm.
just hurting yourself, right?
Mhm.
And we also want to create new communities of people that have not decided yet to come and get the information that they need to be successful. And maybe we should do a program together. That's what I think.
Absolutely. 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 And one of the things I tell people all the time, if you got $100 bill in your hand and you walk around with that $100 bill clasping your hand all the time, and you can walk in a room with people that want to give you millions of dollars, but because of the fact that you would not open up that hand, you cannot receive it.
Bro,
Yeah.
reciprocity is key. You gotta let it flow, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No, so but and a lot of people don't understand that. I mean, you know, depending on your background, your belief system, no matter what, I think people generally believe that in sowing and reaping. You know what I mean, or reaping and sowing.
Mhm. Yeah.
Right? Whatever you put in, you kind of get out. Like I think that's a natural thing. I think that just means balance in most ways, and it's described in many different ways. But it's just balance. Whatever it's energy. So if you put
Mhm.
energy forth on something, you're gonna get it back based on
Mhm.
whatever full energy you put into it. And so
Exactly.
we challenge people to step outside of their comfort zones and get into something new, get into something fresh, and we're here to help you with that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If people wanted to get in contact with you or get some more information, we're going to continue the conversation, but how could they reach out to you?
Yeah, so we're at www.cloudtechacademy.com. That is www.cloudtechacademy.com. That's on Facebook, Instagram, all platforms. You can reach out there if you have any questions. We do have a fall cohort coming up October, I think it's October 2nd.
Mhm.
And it's a great opportunity to get in, and we're trying to challenge everybody. If you want to get started on getting a new life, then you should probably be in this particular one, because what that means is come January, February, you're in a 6-figure role.
Yeah. Start the
You know
new
what I
year
mean?
off right.
Yeah. You can be rocking and rolling,
Mhm.
and just so we're super duper clear, our alumni group is very strong. We have hundreds of people that make over 200,000.
Mhm.
We have 75 people or 80 people that make 300 plus, and then we have our 500K group, and then we have our 600K group, and then our 700K group,
Mhm.
right? And the reason they can do this is because they have a high value skill. They work remotely. You can technically have multiple roles, right?
Mhm.
And you can make money and you can get ahead, right? A lot of times we're battling because it's like, oh, we're stuck. We have to go somewhere. We only can work one role. But
Mhm.
just imagine being able to work, 3 roles at the same time, how much money you can save up, how you can get that leverage to get ahead. And I always tell people, well, how much is it worth to make 300,000-400,000 for the rest of your life? How much is that worth?
Exactly. Exactly. Badger, you had a question?
Yeah. Have y'all ever thought about doing any kind of like STEM introductions for the younger people,
Oh, we
like
do it.
for kids and things like that?
100%. Yeah. So I'm working on a program for a couple municipalities in Alabama right now. We have done this in the past. And so, one of the school systems, I'm actually working on an AI program with them right now, introducing this real information so that they can, get it early. And so, if you have an opportunity, please reach out. I would love to discuss. We definitely offer these services to any and everyone. So be glad to help in any type of way.
Good deal.
That's
Good deal.
awesome.
Yeah.
Have you ever worked with nonprofits?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I have a I actually have a big nonprofit, the Power Technology Foundation. So we do partnerships, we do programs, we do just all type of scenarios with different nonprofits, different we have tons of different scenarios we work with through the foundation.
Okay.
Good
And
deal.
I can get a hold of you through the website, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's Power of Technology, powertech.org.
Oh, I already found you.
Okay.
Okay.
He's on it already. Cassandra, good morning, Cassandra. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Have any questions and or concerns?
I was pretty much where Badger was, because my organization works with a lot of, single moms, people in domestic violence, that type of thing. And the program sounds amazing, and a lot of these young women would be definitely open, to learning. But if you're a single mom, $25,000, whoa, you know what I'm saying? Because they're living basically paycheck to paycheck right now. So, is there anything available to
Scholarships and scholarships or
Yeah. So yes, the answer is yes, right? So we have different scenarios that happen. So through our nonprofit, we actually gave out I think 50,000 scholarships last year, or I think it was last year. And so as this money becomes available, we actually give out these scholarships. And so we work with larger organizations. We're always looking to partner to help get additional funding for the actual training. Now on the nonprofit side, we do have like just now we just finished the program 2 weeks ago, and we gave out 500,000 in scholarships.
Wow.
Right. so each one being worth about 10K, and the goal is to show the tools so that they can begin to go leverage it. Now our engineering program, it's always going to be that, because this is directly connected to you making money, right? It's not like a hope thing, right? You're gonna finish and you're gonna be ready to rock and roll, But it doesn't mean that we won't have anything new happening, because it's really based on the funding that we get in. Of course, we have a lot of volunteers that give donations, and of course, for the Power Technology Foundation, we're accepting all donations humbly. We need all the help we can get to help as many people as possible, and so we work with single moms. If you look on our the poweroftech.org, you'll see very clearly that we've had a single mom scholarship, and we're very passionate about that. But guess what? Please reach out. Maybe we can create some new value.
Absolutely.
I want
that would be wonderful. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
I want to talk to you about some kind of a partnership where we could do something to DKM and get people involved in it as well. That's one of the things that, like I said, with what you are doing, I would love to provide this for some of the listeners that we have, and make sure that they come in and be able to come in and take full advantage of the opportunity, because opportunities are there. And I don't want finances to stop them, because finances have stopped so many people from doing so many different things. This is something right here that and like, if I'm gonna say it like this: if a person wanted to go to the Beyonce concert and those tickets like $2,500, whatever it is, like you said earlier, they're gonna find a way to come up with that money if they want to go. If they want to go, they're gonna find a way to do it. And so this is something that's going to change their lives and their lives of their family and the community as a whole. And they're going to be a successful individual that can actually go out there and do some things in the community, because they now have the finances to do it because of this opportunity.
And the thing is, unfortunately, we built a really strong business, and I would say mainly with the word of mouth, right? Because there's been so many success stories. Unfortunately, that's a double-edged sword. No, we do advertise and stuff like that, but a lot of times, a lot of people stay in fear, because it's like, well, if I don't know anybody who, if I don't know anybody who went through the program, then I don't know if I can do it. Right. And that's a battle for a lot of people. And, the idea is that, no, you can do it. When you see opportunity, you should move forward. You should at least get the information about it, because you don't know who's ready to bless you if you don't even show up for the opportunity. You know what I mean? And kind of lay it out and say, hey, is there a way I can get the proper help? So I encourage people to reach out and let's have a conversation so we can dig into whatever issue it is. A lot of times the issue is not as big as they think it is. It's just that if you have never learned how to solve problems, then that's the problem, right? You never had adversity. You never got comfortable solving problems. And this is why we're really big on critical thinking and deductive reasoning. So I do have a new series that will be coming in the next couple months called Critical AF. And it's really about critical thinking and deductive reasoning, right? Because once you master that, you realize that you can solve any problem that's in front of you, money or otherwise, right? We have the internet, right? If you can reach AI, you can simply ask it, what is the 5 easiest ways to make $5,000 a month? It's going to tell you. And a lot of the ways it's going to do it is simply going to tell you some things that, and you can say, and how can I do it if I have very little money? Right? Now it's going to give you the answer, but now are you going to go do it and actually execute it?
Exactly.
Right? The execution is the real key. And I'll give you an example of how this happened and how it manifested in this last AI class. Now, this is informational only. In the actual class, we're going through it. I've told a couple of guys in the actual course, hey, you're trying to get on your feet. Guess what you can do? You can simply go to Facebook Marketplace. You can set up an ad for hauling trash, dumping trash, right? And this doesn't cost you anything, right? If they book you, you get a deposit. You go to U-Haul, you rent you the van, you rent you the truck, you go to Lowe's, rent you a van or truck, rent it, go make you $800, right? You ain't even put no money into it. And then one of the ladies in the class, her brother just made $1 million in Ohio doing this. And we've never even had this conversation. Right. Wow. And so there's opportunities, but the opportunities only exist if you go do something. If you go actually execute it. Like if nobody's wanting to do the man work and you go do the man work, it's going to make room for you. You know what I mean? But we kind of got a little soft behind these computers,
Yes, Lord. Yes,
Lord.
Lord.
I mean? I'm a little different. I'm a roughneck. You know what I mean? I'm a blue collar guy. I was building engines. You know what I mean? On the side, whatever, on the side of the road. Like you probably see me on 285 back in the early 2000s. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Fixing something.
I tell people all the time, God will provide for the bird in the tree, but He's not going to drop it in the nest. That bird got to get out of the nest and go get it. But He's going to provide for. He's going to provide. Let's do a recap because there's quite a few people that actually just came in as well. So reintroduce yourself and tell them exactly what it is that you do, sir. And we're going to continue the conversation.
Yeah, Dr. Cameron Hairston, co-founder of Cloud Tech Academy. We also have the solution side of the company, Astra Agency, which is coming online very, very soon. We love to help people solve problems with technology, get them into 6-figure roles. We also build any type of application, custom software for organizations. So we're here to help solve any technology problems.
Good deal. Christopher, I see that you're back, brother. You have a question and or concern? Frank, coming to you next. Christopher, are you there?
I'm here, Raheem. Sorry.
Okay. You have any questions and or concerns, sir?
No, I'm good. Yeah, just listening.
Okay. Frank Logan, are you there?
Absolutely.
Okay. Good morning, sir. How are you doing this morning?
And I'm doing well. How's everybody there?
Hey, doing well. Thanks for asking. You have any questions and or concern?
Oh, absolutely. Definitely not any concerns. I'm just excited, to hear the brother and what he's offering the people. And I hope people are taking advantage of this. And, the one thing that I want to offer is that, it's almost like we need a mental health arm to this, because there's so many people that are just so beat down. One of the challenges when you have nothing is to be able to dream. It's a wonderful vision, but there's so many people that are broken that really feel like I'm never going to accomplish anything. So it's almost like, and we have an echo, but I'm gonna fight through this right here. It's almost like the Salvation Army when it got started. the people would go out and they would prepare the community for salvation that was coming.
Mm-hmm.
And they would be there for months, maybe a year, and they would, pray and intercede and prepare those people to receive the blessing. And it's almost like we need to go out and restore these people so they can even take advantage of programs like this.
Yeah.
Get them up, get them active, wash them up and encourage them, speak positive things into their lives so they can even see this as a possibility.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good.
That's great. Listen,
Dr. Cameron, what do you say to that?
Man, he's 100% correct. This is that would ultimately change everything. I would say on this journey, probably even more than the engineer, we are therapists in a lot of ways, because we've seen every single issue, we've dealt with every single issue, and we understand it's a real battle. And we've tried to come up with solutions, and it's worked. We've solved a lot of problems, but we definitely need more help when it comes to getting people to a place mentally that they can grow from, because people are in bad shape. And unfortunately, the scary part is it's only going to get worse because we're disconnected. Technology has disconnected us in a huge way, and it's unfortunate because a lot of times these new generations, they don't even know how to interact with people. They don't even know. And so if you don't know how to interact with people, these kids, they don't even know how to. And they don't have the ability to communicate what's actually going on with them because they're not communicating on a regular basis. And nobody, and it's kind of like if you're out of sight, out of mind, it's kind of the scenario. And so we're dealing with a whole lot of battles. We need help, we need support, we need more programs that support mental health and help people focus. And sometimes people don't even know what they're dealing with. They don't even know what it's called, because we're so used to just dealing with stuff in our community. Hey, yeah, it makes you tough. You know what I mean? Just deal with it. Everybody doesn't have the same capacity.
Exactly.
and that's one of the things that I realized through the creating this program with my wife is that everybody, I can be very hard on some people and they respond amazingly.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, if you challenge them too much, they just fall apart and kind of go down the sink. And so it's really a balance of people. My wife is the nurturer. So we're very much opposite. She's a nurturer. She makes sure people's they're good, they feel good. That way they we can build their confidence up on both sides to go out and accomplish. But I really try to motivate people based on the mission, right?
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, what's your mission? Okay, you want to help your family.
Mm-hmm.
For the men, you want to give your family the best value you possibly can. I know things haven't worked out your whole life. If you come work with me, you'll be fine, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you just execute the steps. I visited one of my good friends and past students this past weekend. He has 3 daughters, 2 twins that are 2, and another one that's 3. And he used to be a pro athlete, and to see him in his brand new house, super nice house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Him and his wife, they both came through the program.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Right. And he tells this story, about when I was first talking to him. He's 6'8".
Mm-hmm.
I'm 6'6". He's 6'8". He's bigger than me. He went to school with my little brother, college.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, brother, you're too big to be broke.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was chasing jobs in the NBA, but to work on the actual team. And I'm like, listen, bro, come on over. And now he makes well over $500,000. His wife makes 6 figures, but they get to be at home with their daughters, raising their daughters, in peace, right? And when I see other people that are coming from some real tough scenarios do the same thing, this man has seen the world and he ended up in the same place, right? Because it's all about information. And then there's people who've never left their state, that never had the experiences, never really had the support, and they're able to make it through if they can fight and they can find a deeper purpose. Usually we can find an alignment is what I ultimately trying to say. So I work hard to try to find alignment. What motivates you? It's very hard if nothing motivates you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you kind of have to dig in. You got to find something you love and something you really want to, work for ultimately.
Now, is some of the opportunities work from home opportunities, or do you have to go to a brick and mortar?
80% is work from home. 85% probably.
Wow.
Yeah. So I would say 95% of my students work at home.
So basically, that gives them the freedom. If they wanted to travel, they're not locked down to one particular place. They can, if it's work from home, they can work from anywhere they go.
Yeah, man. Listen. One of the cool things about having a high value skill in technology is that you have that autonomy. For years and years and years, I traveled the world, worked jobs. We could be in France, we could be wherever doing this, doing this work and not missing a beat. And that's the real beauty about it. And guess what? We got students that work in France and live here.
Wow.
We got students that work in Italy and live here, work in the Philippines. They got jobs in these other countries, right? But they live here. So the opportunities, these are global opportunities. And just so people understand, I teach people how to be cloud engineers, right? You cannot have AI without the cloud. AI lives on the cloud.
Yeah.
Right. So people think that they're different, but the reality is the cloud is the infrastructure that the AI lives on. Right. And as long as that's the case, the cloud engineer, the cloud administrator is going to be in high demand. Because all we're doing is building new data centers. They're going to build, because of AI, we're gonna have to build like 20 new data centers. Each company is going to need to build about 20 more data centers. So we're talking about opportunities, and just to kind of give you guys an idea of the scale, a nuclear plant is 1 megawatt. Like a regular nuclear plant is putting off 1 megawatt of energy. These new data centers are going to require 10 megawatts of energy.
Wow. Now, for the people like myself that don't know what you're talking about, explain that to me.
Okay, so to run cities, right? You know when you drive past the transformers, and it has like a whole big, you see the power grid. You look in there, it's got all the transformers, all of this stuff, right? And so these are just big transformers, right? So each city might have one, and so they're producing electricity, right? And one city might require 1 megawatt for every household to have.
Wow. Okay.
You know what I mean? And don't quote me on that. Like it might be 2 megawatts that support a city or 3, but the whole idea is that the data centers are going to take way more power. They're going to need it because of the compute strength that is needed to run AI at this huge scale that's happening. Because remember, we're building thousands and thousands of applications that people are using now to make life easier, which is creating astronomical amounts of data. This data has to be stored, it has to be calculated, it has to be computed. And so you're going to see tons and tons of data centers. So if you want to make money, become an electrician. They're going to need it for the data centers. You can make, you'll be a millionaire next year if you start it now. Like if you could get in, or in 2 years, it's so crazy. They're going to need to build this stuff. Also, that's plumbing, right? So all the blue collar work is going to be in super high demand. We're about to go really crazy. I believe a whole nother AI industrial revolution is about to happen, right? We're using the applications, but now we got to build more infrastructure.
Yeah. How important is that satellite?
The satellite is huge because the satellite systems, I would think about the satellite systems kind of like a network, if you will, right?
Yes.
Just like your Wi-Fi network at home, right? It's a mesh network. It connects. It makes connections. This is what we see Elon doing, right? With his satellite system, right? So he has Starlink, and basically he has satellites in the air, right? And you can be remote anywhere, and you can use Starlink. You can connect to the satellite, and of course that because it connects to other satellites, you can connect those dots, and that's one of the huge things that's happening. So satellites are going to be key. We're gonna see crazy technology in maps. Like nothing is going to be a secret anymore. The new Google Maps is going to be crazy because
Wow.
they, right now they might let's say they have 10 layers of data on the Earth structure. Now it's going to be like 200.
Ooh.
So the data that's coming out right now, we're going to be able to build applications against because they have open connections to this data. And so now we're going to be solving so many global problems, and we're going to be able to really look at, where we grow food, how we do it more efficiently. The other side of it, we're going to have vertical farms. They're going to build skyscrapers. There's nothing but a farm that's fully automated.
Wow, that's good.
To grow food faster, right? And so that those things exist now, but there's a company that does it right now, and it looks like just a warehouse, and all it does is move plants around all day. And so these things are happening, but these things are going to be happening at scale because they're going to be like, look, we don't have any workers that want to work in the field, want to go out here and do this work anymore. So we're going to have computers do it. We're going to have, we got artificial light. We're going to bring it in. We're going to pipe it in. And now these are new businesses. It is coming online fast.
Wow.
So we got to change.
Exactly. Tucson, you have any questions and or concern, brother? Tucson, you there?
Yeah, well, I'm here. I got a concern.
Okay.
We see a lot of young people going in a direction that's not good. It's just not good. And they're not only not interested in technology, they're not interested, period. So what I'm getting at is there some kind of thought to mentoring, grabbing hold to I know you got a scholarship program, and I don't know if the scholarship program is geared to somebody that's already doing something. But what about somebody like, for instance, Cassandra? I'm gonna try to shorten this up. Talking about somebody that the mama's struggling, the dad is not there, the kids going in the wrong direction, they ain't got nothing. So they need some help. They need a scholarship. Is there any thought of that? And then the other question is, what effects is, let me see what it is. It's called ChatGPT. Are you familiar with that?
Yes, I'm familiar. Yes, sir. I'm having a hard time hearing you. That's why I'm.
He was asking what is one of the questions he asked is what is the effects of ChatGPT?
Oh yeah.
Say it again now.
Is that okay? So ChatGPT is just really just it's becoming more of a search engine. Well, but the major effects is it's literally going to cause us to think less. Right. And so now we're going into it. So just imagine if you never did really think that much, you're going to think less because you're going to feel like you're getting the right answer. This is going to create a real problem with learning because now we're not even using critical thinking now. And so we're going to use it less with AI. Right. And that's the real challenge is now that you have a tool where you can get, you feel like you're getting most of the answers, and you're getting most of the answers correct. And, but if you don't know how to even ask it the right question, then that's a whole nother problem because a lot of times people are just searching like, hey, yeah, what's the recipe to cook this souffle? What's the recipe for this? Or how many people here? Or they're trying to challenge somebody like finding Michael Jordan stats or like doing, they're just using it for random things that may or may not bring value to their life. And so a part of what we do is challenge them to ask the right questions, right? Now, there's going to be a group of people that are always going to be in a tough situation across the board, right? There's always going to be somebody that ultimately needs help. There's always going to be the single moms. There's always going to be the single fathers, bad relationships. And I think that's where we have to actually do the work, right? Because what's really happening is, our society is promoting an agenda that doesn't support family.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right? It's supporting everything besides family, which is ultimately making us weaker, right? And when we have these single moms, we got to do something as a community, right? We start off as a very conservative people, right? Now anything goes. There's no respect. There's no anything, and our family structure has changed. I'm actually doing my, I'm planning my family reunion right now for next year, and I realized there's so few people even doing family reunions now. We're not even getting together to connect, to even have that support system, and that's why a lot of these young folks are like literally falling to the wayside. They don't even have real grandmothers anymore.
Mhm.
Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
those days are over. The grandmas is at the club. And so we have to find some sort of balance to install some of these best practices, community, family, because obviously we cannot be responsible for every single
Mhm.
person, and because all it is, we can't be responsible for everybody's bad decision. Really, at the
Mhm.
end of the day, right? And we have to create a process of accountability, I believe, to curb some of those issues so that we can have a better launch point, right?
Exactly.
So I don't know. So how do you think we can do that? I think that's an open conversation. I think that's a real battle that we got to deal with, and we got to come up with some solutions.
Mm-hmm.
Even
Toussaint?
more solutions.
Yeah, because what we have is we have a mentoring program, for instance,
Mhm.
and we have some kids that are court appointed.
Yes.
They don't have no choice. They got to. So we've gotten together to push them in the right direction.
Right.
So if there's something like this that's profitable for their future, the only problem that I see is they don't have no money.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
They got, and I say this, and I'm going to try to be brief. When we walked into the young man's, he's 16 years old. We walked in his house. His mom's in a situation. She got two other children, and he's sitting on the sofa. We kind of try to bless him, and he got a hoodie over his head in the house. He don't talk to nobody. He's shut down,
Mm-hmm.
but he needs this help. He needs something.
Yeah.
That will change his life. He got
Mhm.
a thought. And then here's the other kicking part. He ain't been to school in 2 years, but he's still passing.
Passing what?
He do online courses.
Mm.
He says, "Oh no, we finally got him to open up." He said, "No, I make my grades. I can show you that. I got a bad attitude.
Mm-hmm.
I got an anger problem."
Mm.
And I'm not trying to throw you out there to try to say help. But I'm saying, is there something for people in conditions of hopelessness?
Yeah, sure. I think there's a lot. I think there's a lot.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I'm sorry. Yeah, I think there's a lot of options, right? Number one, it has to start locally, wherever the situation is. If it's about money, then somebody's going to have to learn how to do some grants or pay somebody to do some grants to be able to get the money. The money's available,
Mm-hmm.
right? And somebody's going to have to step outside of their comfort zone, right? And guess what? You can use AI to actually write the grants. So why aren't more grants being written if you got a tool that'll write them and
Mhm.
answer all the questions so you can get them submitted? So that's one thing that I talk to with nonprofits and just anybody who's like, right now you have AI. Why not, if you want to apply for a grant, use AI to help you do it and get it done,
Mhm.
right? The problem again,
Would ChatGPT be a resource, or is
Yeah.
there another source that they will possibly use to write those grants?
I mean, you can use Chat, you can use Perplexity, you can use Gemini, you can use just about any one of them to help you,
Mhm.
write the grant and get it, and get it submitted. And so
Mhm.
these are things that can ultimately happen, but we got to have, we got to have people taking action on these things. And usually when stuff is, when people are dealing with the state, or they, there's an issue on that side, or if there's not support or not family or whatever the case may be, there's usually some programs connected to it, but the programs are not always operating efficiently. It takes people to also go to those programs and challenge them and ask them, like, what's happening, and are you guys even innovating? Are you just sitting here? How many grants are you getting out? It's like, oh, we write 5 grants a month because they're doing it by hand.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? When they could be putting out 100 if they're using AI. So
Exactly. Yeah.
So we have to use what the tools that are available to us. I think first, and I feel terrible. My heart goes out to the young man, and a lot of times these kids are angry because the parents didn't do what they needed to do.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And then the expectation is, well, another person got to deal with it. You know what I mean? But where's the family at? Did the kid not have a grandma or uncles? Nobody.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that happens. I know that happens, but it's like, man, whoever is the adult, whoever is the family, we need to reach out to them and see how we can get some more support.
Exactly.
We got to pull together so we can have more accountability. You know what I mean, across the board, because one group of folks can't save another one. We have to all be looking to save ourselves and come up with solutions to save ourselves. And sometimes, actually, the value might be actually in the actual mother, to help the mother, achieve the next level so that she can help the kid manifest whatever he's trying to manifest in a deeper way. Because sometimes it's just about the growth of the parent and their ability to deal with this particular type of issue.
And that's powerful, because she's really, and I love what you said, because she's really his outlet. Once he see her doing something and see the possibilities come forth, it's going to give him that sense of hope that I think he's been missing.
Absolutely.
He's absolutely been missing. Leonard, you have any questions and or concerns, brother?
No, not really. I mean, the guy is telling the truth about how he's explaining what he does and how to get people involved. I mean, I use AI regularly. It makes my business a lot easier. Because one, I love what he said about critical thinking and deductive reasoning. That's all I'm usually doing.
Yeah.
And you get to a certain point where menial things just waste time. So if AI can give me menial information on my fingertips, I can use that to go further, instead of wasting 2 and 3 days on something that AI can tell me in 15, 20 minutes. I shouldn't have to go read a whole book to find something out anymore. Sometimes I just need a certain part of that book. Or if I may want to call into, that's what research does. When you're a researcher, you know about how powerful AI is. You still have to make decisions based on the data that you pull. That's the important part on how do you use the data.
Yeah.
But if you're sitting here dealing with whether or not you're going to be able to understand it or whatever, you need a different type of help.
Something else going on.
Because you know me, I don't fool with people that don't have desire. I don't care where they're from or what situation they're in. I don't give you desire. You have to bring that to the table, and we can do something with that.
You got to be ready to play the game. You got to be ready to add value too, if you want something out of it, and but sometimes even that part of the conversation is all that's needed. Because sometimes it's really about, hey, I never even thought about it like that. Nobody said it to me like that.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot we can do, but we also have to have a different level of self accountability and come up with some solutions around that. And I think as we move forward and we work together, we'll definitely do some things that can impact our community and make some improvements in the actual process for sure.
Exactly. Now, how have it changed personally? How have it changed you? Because I see you say you used to be you used to turn them tools.
Yeah.
You used to turn them tools.
Yes, sir.
And now you're at a place where, I don't think you got any dirt on your hands at all now. So
hey, listen. So ask the question one more time. I'm sorry. What was the?
How did this whole process change you?
Oh man, so it changed me in a lot of ways. Number one, I realized, early on, it was a great opportunity for me to reach my personal goals. Right. Once I was informed, got the right information, I was able to reach my personal goals. And I realized that, once you get some money, you really don't even, after a while, you don't even want things anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? All the things you think you desire, it's like it doesn't even mean anything. Once you actually get it, it's like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, okay, it's there. Then you have this, and it just collects dust just like everything else. And so as I've collected junk, toys and just whatever stuff, right? You realize, like, man, less is more. I've learned that I care more about peace than anything. I care all about peace. If I do my best to stay in the most peaceful state I can be in. You know what I mean? I try to. I've learned that when you kind of have to take yourself out of as much drama as you can, just so you can have the peace, so you can think and be creative.
Yes.
And so one thing I've learned is get as much peace. Obviously, take care of your health. Obviously, focus on solving problems internally first. Right. A lot of people are so hell bent on solving other people's problems, but they haven't really solved their own problems yet. And you can't help other people until you help yourself.
Yes.
Right. So I always talk about an analogy where get on the mountain and throw the rope down. Don't try to pull people up while you're climbing.
Yeah.
Because you won't get to the top. But if you get to a peak, drop the rope down, because you have leverage to pull people back up. Right.
What do they tell you on a plane if there's an issue? They say that with your air mask, what do they tell you to do first?
Cover your face first.
Cover yours first. They say cover your face first. When it pops down, cover yours first, then help somebody else.
And so,
go ahead.
No. And that's a battle, because I've just seen so many people. It's like, well, I want to help these people, but you're not in the place where you can yet. But that's also, this goes into a deeper thing, right? Because a lot of times we see people go through things, and we're thinking in our heart we're supposed to be their God. Right. And we have to check our egos at the door, even with that. Even though when we think we're helping, we're not designed to solve every problem. Yeah, we can become aware of problems, but we're not designed to solve every problem. So what I learned is I can't solve everybody's problem. Right. Because, taking on that whole concept of believing you can will do nothing but make you sick.
If you got 10 broke friends, the best way you could help them is not being the 11th.
Exactly. 100%.
Yeah.
And so, so trying to be in a place and obviously learning to become more disciplined. One of the things I challenge all my students to do, because a lot of them like, oh, I do real estate. I do a lot of other stuff too. Right. And they're all like, oh, I want to invest with you. I want to, because they see the record. I want to invest. And I'm like, well, how much money you got saved up? You know what I mean? There's a requirement. If you invest $50,000 with me, you better have $150,000 in cash, and you're gonna have to show it. You know what I mean? And if you want to invest 100 with me, then you're gonna have to have 200,000 in cash, right? Because investments take time, but this is how you secure it. Things got to grow. You know what I mean? So I only work with people that are disciplined enough to make those sales. And so what I'm trying to say is the reason I've had we've had exponential growth is because of discipline. And I didn't spend a penny for 10 years.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Even though I had it to spend, I didn't spend it because I had bigger goals. I'm like, okay, I want to be in position where the money will work for me, where we can leverage, where we can get assets, where we never even have to. I'm retired. I've retired 2 years ago. My wife retired 8 years ago.
Wow.
I mean, obviously we're working in our businesses, but we don't go to anyone's job. So what I want people to know is the job is still just a tool. That's the first level. A high paying job is the first level. Then once you master that, and then you do the right thing by managing your money, right? Being a good steward of the money is the battle a lot of us are in. We're not good stewards. And that's where we fail. And one of the things I told myself is, I've been around people that have had money, that have done well in life, and I'm like, I'm not going back. So I'm not wasting any money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We live a great, healthy, good life, but it's really about efficiency. It's about being effective. And then of course, figuring out additional assets that will buy the toys, right? Not trading your money for toys, but creating solutions that make money, and then you buy the toys from there.
Yeah.
But a lot of times people just getting the money, they're getting their check from their job, then they're going to buy, whatever they're going to buy, cars, watches, whatever the case may be, because they want to feel good, because it makes them feel like they're better than they were.
Exactly.
So we're trying to inside a new mindset.
Absolutely. Frank Logan, any questions and or concern?
You can never have a concern about a conversation like this. I mean, it's nothing but. I do want to say this: the person that is struggling and the person that's downtrodden, send them to me. Because the thing that I love about where I was delivered from is that God gave me a memory. And I remember those people that let me sleep in their house, that encouraged me, that showed me a better way. And I love I wish we could spend just 2 hours on what it is that we're supposed to be doing with our money. That when you're getting your check, how you distribute that money in your own household, what you should do first, what you should do second, what should be your goals. You should have a goal for your household, and be able to talk to people, to talk to our people about having a budget. But the thing that we have to do is that when we have family reunions and when we have people that we have influences over, we have to have conversations with them. When we have that brother or cousin or nephew who's having 4 or 5 kids by 5 or 6 different women, we need to challenge him.
Yeah.
Hey man, my father told me any man can please a bunch of women. It takes a real man to please one.
Yeah.
Because a whole bunch of women don't want a lot from you. What are you doing? And we should not be okay with that. We should not be okay, because what it's doing is making us, and I hate to use this analogy, but I used to breed dogs right here. And you would breed to the strongest dog. And what this is doing is weakening us as a people. And you got a bunch of weak jokers running around here that are not responsible. They can't raise a family. They have no idea where their children are at. And then it's making their children weak. We need to really, really take time and talk to our kids about being predators of charge cards. I had a family member that got a communication saying, hey, we have $1,500 for you. Just come get it. It's 72% interest.
Good Lord. That hurt.
So he didn't accept the money. What did they do? They raised the amount that they were willing to give him. We'll give you $3,000. Because we don't even care if you pay it all back. Because whatever you pay back, we're going to take that, and then we're going to garnish you for the rest of your life. We have to talk to them about these traps. But the last thing that I'm going to say is that we have to understand what we are competing against. Social media, this ignorant behind television, and grown folks that are lying to our youth.
You stopped abruptly on ain't no use finish that, brother. You give me.
I just like to say one more thing, and I got to shut myself up because I'll talk forever, Raheem, on this topic.
Yes, sir.
We owe our generation, our young people, more than what we're giving them.
Mm-hmm.
We owe each other. And that thing, man, that brother touched on some things. You read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad,
mm-hmm.
and it talks about what you do with money.
Yeah.
But then in scripture, it even tells you, and I lost my thought, but it is to the glory of God to conceal a thing.
Mm-hmm.
It is to the honor of kings to search it out. And when we have these search engines that will give us all the answers, you miss so much.
Mm-hmm.
You miss so much because when you go get it, when you have to go and look for it, you stumble across things that you weren't even looking for that are so valuable.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
The journey.
Exactly. Well, I'm looking at the clock. We got 6 more minutes. I'm going to give the number one more time, 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. We're actually having a wonderful conversation. Our brother is here with us today, and he's educating us on technology and the level of technology that he provides for you, and you could be a part of this as well. All you have to do is reach out to him. Watch this. Give me your contact information, brother.
Yes, sir. So we're at www.cloudtechacademy.com. And I'll also go ahead and tell you our new cohort is coming up on October 6th. I think I said the second before, but it is in fact October 6th is when the new classes start. Also on September 8th, we're having an open house, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to know more about it, right, you just can join that call. You can get connected right on our website, www.cloudtechacademy.com. Come to the open house. We're going to have students. We're going to have information about what we do. We'll be able to get a lot more in depth and just talk about, how we help people win and ultimately get to the next level.
Absolutely.
So yeah, please join us.
Absolutely. And again, this is DK, your Media Group and Associates. We're here every day Monday. This is the Morning Glow. We're here every day Monday through Friday from 7 to 10 a.m. Continue to like, subscribe, share, and just be a part of what we're doing here. I think we bring some great information for you, and people that's been with us for a long time, you know what we do. This is the type of the level of information that we like to bring to the community. Never negative. Never negative. We want something that's going to build the community and make sure that it's something that's going to help you, help each other, and be a positive part of the community in which we live in. We have to live here together. We all have to be here together. Black, white, orange, polka dot, or little stripe, doesn't matter. If you're a part of the community, you're a part of us. Let's work together. Let's build. Cassandra, anything on your heart?
No, it's been some really good information that the gentleman gave, and we appreciate it.
Absolutely. Anybody have anything else before I turn the floor over to Doc for him to do his closing? He got to close him. He's gonna talk about 45 minutes, but we're gonna let him do it. We're gonna let him.
No, I'm gonna keep it easy.
There you go. Anybody got anything else they'd like to say before we get out of here?
Can you give us that website again, please?
Yes, it's www.cloudtechacademy.com. Let me see. Maybe I can put it in the chat.
One more time. Yeah, put it in the chat. I'll put it on the screen. Absolutely.
Okay. Yes, www.cloudtechacademy.com.
Now, I thought you was gonna type it on there for me. See?
No. I'm getting it right now.
Okay,
worries.
hold on now.
Yeah, let me get you.
Rico, any thoughts, brother?
Nah, man, I ain't been listening for a second. I like what he was saying earlier. That's sound like a good investment for people that can afford it.
Absolutely. Badger, talk to me, Badger. Question and or concern, Badger? Badger? Did we lose Badger? We might have lost him. Leonard, talk to me, brother. Leonard? They must have, y'all need to wake up and go.
You be playing with that mute button, Raheem.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Talk to me.
I'm 100%, for education. Like I say, it's an excellent opportunity. My brother does that type of work, and let me tell you, it's a Cinderella story. of people who just have a desire to change and to do something.
Mhm.
It's for people that want to win. It's for people that want to win. And I always talk to, I'm not going to beg you to do better. I'm just not.
Mhm.
The opportunity is there. If you want to really have a greater impact, vote for local representatives that are for funding assistance for individuals that need financial assistance. We had a great president that was talking about making sure that everybody had access to at least 2-year schools for free, especially if they fit a certain criteria, not having money. You don't get that type of assistance when you put people in office that don't care.
Mhm. Wow.
So this is what we need to focus on. But like I said, I want to stick to what he said before. It's about critical thinking and deductive reasoning,
Mhm.
problem solving instead of making excuses.
Exactly. Anybody else, real quickly? Okay. Sir, the floor is yours, brother. Anything you want to say? If we missed anything, we had a lot to cover today, and I think we covered a lot. And but if you have any questions or concerns that you want to say that you want to address, brother, the floor is absolutely yours. And I'm gonna step back, put you on full screen. How about that?
Well, first, I just want to say thank you for the opportunity to be here to have this conversation. I appreciate everybody here. It's been a wonderful experience. Obviously, all I'm trying to do is bring awareness about technology, let people know that there's a real path, and there's also people that actually care about their future in a real way. We have a lot of love for people because we understand the battles. At Cloud Tech Academy, our whole staff is dedicated to helping people solve these problems. And I'll even tell you, even most of our staff have been through the program. So even the teachers, the trainers in the actual courses, guess what? You can't make excuses because they've actually been through the process themselves. So we have a lot of trainers. So the thing is, I want people to know it's better to learn from practitioners. It's better to learn from practitioners, people that actually do the work. People that I have multiple contracts where we're actually doing the work. And and we're staying up to date 24/7 so we can deliver the best solutions to our students, the best information, and also so they can get the best leverage. And they're going to be a part of a community that understands what they've been through. You're not going to be by yourself. And it does not matter you do not have to have a tech background. That is not necessary. We prefer empty cups. Come on over, we'll fill it up, and you can go out and live your best life if you simply just follow the blueprint, take the steps. Also, just because you don't have the money doesn't mean you shouldn't reach out. There's always a solution. Start the process. You don't know who's trying to bless you. Put yourself out there. Get outside your comfort zone. Also, if you're not quite ready for Cloud Tech Academy, make sure you contact thepoweroftech.org. This is our nonprofit foundation. We do all type of events. We also do trainings, and this is all funded by our sponsors. If you know any sponsors or potential sponsors, have them reach out to us. Also, if you would like to give any donations, we're also open to donations on the foundation side, as we're looking to solve as many problems as possible. And so, Raheem, I just want to thank you so much. This has been wonderful. I've enjoyed it. Really, really great experience. And I look forward to coming back. I want to come back. And of course, I want to have you on my show same way. And so just thank you again for the opportunity. I'm very grateful, very humble.
Thank you. It's been a blessing, brother. It's been a blessing, and thank you. Thank you for taking the time and hanging out with us. We're about to get out of here. Hang on. We got a couple of things we do before we get out. First, Cassandra Alexander Green, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Cassandra, somebody joined the broadcast late today, 8 o'clock, 8:30, 9 o'clock, even 9:30. Not 9:30, but 9:30. And they say, look at here. I wish there was a way that I could hear this broadcast and hear it in its entirety. Cassandra, are you able to help them out?
We can definitely help them out. If you've missed any part of the show and would like to see or hear it in its entirety, tune into dkmmediagroup.com at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Once again, if you've missed any part of the show and would like to see or hear it in its entirety, tune into dkmmediagroup.com at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Good deal. Good deal. Time for the pledge. Y'all gonna say the pledge with me today. Kay, I see you just came in. I'm glad that you're here. I need you to help me on this pledge. And anybody else that would like to repeat after me, please do so. And the pledge, it goes a little something like this. I will take this day.
I will take this day
and be the best that I can be.
Be the best that I can be.
And be the best that I can be.
Do the best that I can.
Do the best that I can.
Do the best that I can.
And help as many people as I can to do the same thing.
To help as
many people as I can to do the same thing.
I promise to do it with love.
I promise to do it with love.
I promise to do it with love.
Compassion.
Compassion.
And the grace of God.
The grace of God.
And the grace of God.
Giving him all the honor.
Giving him all the honor.
Giving him all the honor.
All the praise.
All the praise.
All the praise.
And all of the glory.
And all of the glory.
And all of the glory.
In the name of my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
In the name of my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
In the name of my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Amen, amen, and amen.
Amen.
Frank Logan. Frank Logan. Frank, wake up and go to sleep. Frank, you there? Okay, may I stepped away for a second. Oh, Cassandra's there. Cassandra Alexander Green, coming back to you. Can you pray us out, sis?
Father, we just thank you for this day that you have given us. We thank you for your many blessings. God, we honor you today, even for the young man that came on and shared such great information. It is our desire, God, to please you and to bless your people. Now we ask you to bless everyone under the sound of my voice, every panel member, everyone in any country that is listening right now. We ask you to bless them. Help us to be better today than we were on yesterday. Help us to seek your wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that we may be better people for your people, God. These and all other blessings we ask and pray in the precious name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Been a great broadcast. I want to thank everybody for joining us more than that. I want to thank you for allowing DK and Media Group and Associates and the Morning Glow for being a part of your day. It is now, 10:06. You're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we are certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you could do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. That we shine some of this light on you from the Morning Glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in and let your light so shine. If you get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Have a great day. Take care of each other. And please, please, please be blessed. Give somebody some love and truth. They would appreciate it. And I'm sure that you will as well. Talk to you tomorrow morning, if God says the same. Have a great day, y'all. Love you. Be blessed.
Thank you.
Welcome to the stage where hearts unfold in the Morning Glow. Stories untold. Let's paint with words a masterpiece of art where dialogues bloom, igniting in every heart. Let's tap into the ocean of thoughts where waves of healing gently salt. Let's paint with words a masterpiece of art where dialogues bloom, igniting every heart. Let's dive into the ocean of thoughts where waves of healing gently sought. Together we'll mend, stitch by stitch in the Morning Glow. Let's make the switch. A symphony of voices harmonizing the air, echoing truth, banishing despair. Let's sow seeds of unity, watch them grow in this garden of hope under the Morning Glow. Let's bridge the gaps, erase the line in the tapestry of hearts. Let love shine. With every word, a step we take towards a brighter dawn for all our sake. Welcome to the morning glow, where dreams take flight in this realm of possibilities. Let's unite, together we stand, hand in hand, healing the nation across the land. Let's dive into the ocean of thoughts, where waves of healing gently sought. Together we'll mend, stitch by stitch, in the morning glow, let's make the switch. Let's dive into the ocean of thoughts, where waves of healing gently sought. Together we'll mend, stitch by stitch, in the morning glow, let's make the switch. Let's symphony of voices harmonizing the air,